But I guess we will go ahead and start casting, and if people tell me there are problems, then we can stop and fix them. Yeah?
Definitely.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Alright, here we go. That's the one thing about SB I don't like so far, is they don't have the countdown, and that countdown is like so iconic.
Well, they do have a countdown, it's just different.
Yeah.
It is a little jarring at first. Alright, so in the top left we have the orange Protoss say GG fast.
And in the bottom left hand corner we have our white Protoss, which is Taeguk G, or something of that nature. Apparently from Russia.
I think it's Taegugi, which is the name of the Korean flag.
Oh, is it? The Korean flag has a name. Alright, that's interesting. Chobo sounds like an auditorium. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. You'll have to...
It's probably because I don't have an actual microphone. It's because it's built into my laptop, but... So it seems like we had a little pause action going, but this Protoss seems very respectful. He said, "Sorry, sir."
Sir.
Doesn't look like there's going to be any direct cheese. No center gates, anything like that.
And I'm sure we can all guess the map. This has a very familiar feel. I don't even think I need to press the button and find out.
And at the very top, you'll see it says Fighting Spirit 1.3, the most standard of standards, but somehow becoming more Terran favored over time, I guess.
Especially in TVZ, like everybody now talks about how Fighting Spirit is awful in TVZ. I don't know, I don't hear as much about PvT and Fighting Spirit, but...
It's, yeah, I would say TVZ is pretty hard for Zerg. It's such an easy third for Terran to take, and especially Terran going bio. Even me being a crappy Terran, I've found that you can pretty much produce Marine Medic indefinitely, off of 3 bases.
And White Scout, how do you say it again?
Taegugi.
Taeguk. His scout is arriving, so he's going to see the gateway, going to see the gas going up. So pretty normal Protoss openings, no 2 gates.
We do see the orange Protoss going Cybernetics Core first, before Zealot, which I'm not sure if that's such a good idea going blind, because center 2 gate would pretty much hurt this a lot. But to his benefit, Taegugi is going 1 base, and Taegugi is actually not getting his Cybernetics Core. He's going for a pylon. So we will see a little bit of a tech advantage from the orange Protoss.
Now Orange did opt to get a Zealot out while the core is building, so not playing it pure Dragoon, which is pretty common in PvP, as just going straight Dragoon will really cause you trouble if you're getting 2 gated.
Yes. And now Orange scouts in the correct direction and sees that he is only facing a 1 gate, so he should be feeling pretty good about himself right now, a little bit advantageous. But what do we see here in the corner? We see pylon. I think you slowed down.
Yes, we do. Oh,
You slowed down the stream a little.
it's supposed to lock that, but yeah, I did. I was trying to type DND, but I guess I hit some things in. Okay, we're gonna have in-base 2 gateways. Shit's getting fancy already.
Zealot walks right by the
Ramp, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
no.
does not get blocked
That's
out
so
by
annoying.
the-
At least the Dragoon's out.
Yes.
Now, as long as White isn't a retard, I could see White like having a moment where he runs his Zealot over just to like, you know, keep it going when he doesn't multitask, but then leads Brown to find his gateways. But it looks like it's just gonna die and do nothing. I had some guy do that once. He was like trying to make a hatch in my base, but he like, you know, was microing his Zerglings around that he ran in, and he ran them over to like the hatch, and I was like, oh, well.
Thanks. And we have an interesting defensive formation with the Dragoon out front and the Zealot behind it. But we do have 2
Mana pylons.
also. Yeah.
But they are getting taken out now. I've never been into mana pyloning, but it always feels kind of annoying, but it also feels like it has to be like so wasteful. I guess it depends on the probes you trap and whatnot.
Yeah, the first one trapped, I think, 3 probes, and it took some time for White to get the probe out. And right now, even right now, one of the probes that was idle behind the former pylon, and it stopped the aggression from the White Protoss, which helps the orange tremendously.
And a small engagement here at the natural, but it is two Dragoons against 3 Zealots, 4 Zealots now, so just mass Zealots coming out from White's base, and say GG Fast is going to be backing up a little bit. Doesn't look like he has range done, so it's going to be a little difficult to micro those goons. Actually, he's going to have range in a second, but all of a sudden White is also going to walk right into Orange's base, and 2 Zealots surprise harassing in the mineral line. And a lot of micro now for, say, GG Fast to worry about.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're having to... When you're the person who is more likely to be the victim on both sides of a micro exchange. For Taeguki, it's a lot simpler. His Zealots will beat on micro Dragoons, and his Zealots will beat on micro probes, so Orange had to really pull his pants up really quick and try to figure this out really quickly.
He's doing a good job of it so far, but there are a lot of Zealots in base. Now, if he can kill 3 or 4 Zealots without losing too many probes or Dragoons, this is going to get very easy for him to defend, but right now it is kind of the critical moment, and he's doing quite a good job right now, actually. I don't think he's lost a ton of probes, although he has lost 3 or 4 at the very least. The Dragoon getting trapped, drilling though, and it goes down, but he's releasing that Dragoon count, and I like how he's backed the Dragoons up into the corner, nice and safe up there.
Yeah, that's really clever. With the probe walling off, it was absolutely perfect. The only thing that I could say that he did poorly in this engagement is the fact that his probes weren't mining for so long. He definitely could have been mining during that whole entire engagement, but in the end, he does manage to clean it up. He finds
now he's got it cleaned up easy.
And now there's actually a surprising amount of Dragoons left over, and most of them are in good health. Maybe 2 that are injured. And these Zealots are now pretty much useless in here.
The only downside is that White did deal pretty significant economic damage in the end, killing off probably 10 or so probes, and say GG Fast is about half the economy right now of Taeguki, but Taeguki is also facing a really significant tech disadvantage, and he's going to try to deal with that by going for an expansion, putting down a ton of cannons right now, though. Knowing that with those Dragoons coming, he has to get them down.
That's right, because actually I think range is finished, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, range finished as the Dragoons are walking back to the base.
And Dragoons and cannons have the same exact range, I believe, when they're range upgraded.
I believe so, yes.
So this is a purely defensive maneuver. There was no other way that Taeguki would have survived this.
Dragoon's coming down, but they're going to walk right into these cannons, and the first Dragoon takes like 5 hits, but does back out before he dies. And a Zealot sneaking around behind the Dragoons, probably going up to harass. Unfortunately for him, the Dragoons are returning. They're faster than the slow lot, so they are going to kill him.
That's right. It looks like it would be a clever idea if Orange tried to force the issue, but unfortunately he's not going to make it anywhere. And now Orange is getting to a significant army lead, as we have no army from White and 7 Dragoons from Orange. But we do have a Nexus on the way for White, so...
However, it's worth noting there is a robotics facility on the way for, say, GG Fast, which, you know, cannons are notoriously bad against Reavers because of that whole Reavers can move and cannons can't thing. So if he has good Reaver control, and since there'll be no army from White, there is definitely some potential to break with Reaver if he elects to go for Reaver.
Oh, most definitely. And on top of that, he's foregoing observers. He actually has a probe pulled from his gas, so I feel like he's trying to come back from the economic damage really well by maximizing his mining potential.
And the shuttle's going to be nice too, because with the low Dragoon count, if he opts to Reaver harass as well, it's going to be really hard to defend, especially on 2 bases with just having a couple Dragoons. Not very good for defending a Reaver.
Most definitely.
No speed yet, but shuttle's almost done.
I wouldn't expect speed from this build because, first of all, his gas is very low because he's prioritizing mineral mining, and now he put his 3rd probe back on gas.
Yeah.
But we are going to see what looks like to be a 2-gate Goon Reaver plus timing, and it looks like it could be effective. We still have no army coming from White, but he is getting Templar tech, 1 cannon in the main base.
I'm glad you said that. I had my screen down. I thought it was as low as it could go, and I just saw the Citadel but not the Archives because it was like morphing in. And I was like, wait, why does he have a Citadel and no speed and no Templar Archives? But yeah, going for Templar tech.
Oh, when you said no speed, you were talking about White. I thought you were talking about shuttle speed.
Well, first I was talking about shuttle speed, but then I was also looking at White. So you were correct the first time.
This is actually looking to be like a quite scary push. It's about 10 Dragoons, and the Reaper's out. Reaper's in the shuttle. And it looks like Orange is going to be expanding behind this. And
However,
at the same time,
it is just one Reaver. I generally prefer two for most Reaver pushes, but I'm guessing he just wants to get out there at this early timing and just bang away on those cannons. But it is a lot nicer, especially when you're dealing with a decent number of Dragoons or Zealots. Having those two Reavers, that splash damage combination really becomes a lot more effective.
definitely. And he also, I'm sure he suspects that White can't possibly have the Dragoon count to snipe this Reaver, so he's trying to do some economic damage, forcing cannons out of White. And here's the Reaver push.
Oh, hey, the Reaver's behaving. Would you look at... Oh, just as I say that. Wait, there's a DT? I heard it. Two DTs. He's got to pick up the Reaver. He's got... Oh, no. Wow. Ouch. That hurts. And he's not responding. Are there DTs in the main? No, no sign of DTs in the main. He's moving to block the ramp. Now he's running away with the Dragoons. So that Templar tech turned out to be pretty saving. It's a little unfortunate. Orange right now is probably like, why didn't I go ops first?
Yep, that's one of the major risks that you take every time you go Reaver before obs, is that DTs will ruin your day.
DT spam. 3 more DTs being made. There's 3 DTs out on the map right now. 1's at home. 2 are running across the map, and 3 more are being made.
I feel like there's pretty much no other army choice that could have helped the White Protoss in this situation, because this is the only unit right now that can deal effectively with Dragoon Reaver that he has. He doesn't have Dragoons, he doesn't have range, and even if he did have Dragoons, he would have such a small amount compared to the Orange Protoss.
And let's note, we can now see the reasoning behind the mass DTs, as White has popped a shuttle and has loaded that shuttle with 3 DTs. So he's going to go for a triple DT drop in the main. 4 is really nice, but even 3 DTs, if he's out of position enough, can absolutely snipe the Nexus, which is really frustrating. Yes, obs are out, but reaction times will matter for this.
He just picked off 1 DT in the natural.
And he's going to move back across the map with his main Goon army, so this is going to make these DTs incredibly destructive. I'm going to be very surprised if he saves the Nexus, especially since there's not a Reaver in it, in the shuttle right now to help defend these. So yeah, that Nexus is definitely going down. He's frantically coming back to his base. In the meantime, it looks like another DT is trying to sneak in here and is going to start banging away on the Nat Nexus. So DT's doing so much damage. Down goes the Nexus. The Forge just now finishing. The DTs probably aren't going to get a ton of probe kills. Well, actually, I say that, but it's 3 DTs, and they kill probes so fast they are going to get a ton of probe kills. Trying to drill them now, and it looks like he's going to get them cleaned up finally, but he's lost probably, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 probes and a Nexus. So really nice damage out of those 3 DTs.
And it's really unfortunate to note that he was so intent on building a Reaver, he didn't cancel it, make obs or anything that could have...
Oh no, and he's losing his Nat Nexus too! Oh, he loses almost 3/4 of that to the other 1 DT.
And now we understand the reason why this White Protoss has made so many DTs, but in the meantime, his economy is good, but his mineral spending has been very poor, and his Dragoon count is still very low. It could be troublesome to deal with Reaver Dragoon push.
And of course, this Reaver for Orange is going to go into the main base and harass, and the cannon does not cover the minerals at all from Reaver harassment. So we'll just have to see how White's reactions are. He's going to have to run some probes or take a ton of damage. Oh, the pylon is... Oh, that was a weird dud scarab. Usually scarabs don't dud like that. Second one hitting a little bit, and the cannon down now.
I think it just reached that point where
it just like expires.
The amount of time that the scarab was out is determined, and not the fact that it didn't hit what it's trying to hit. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, we can see that Tegagi has a ton of probes, and of course that expansion on the right is also starting to get probed up. So White is going to be running a pretty sweet economy here shortly.
Oh wow, 54 probes. That's
strong.
Amount. I didn't expect to see that many.
And Orange is still reeling from that, as he's only just now starting to get his main refinished. And he's only on 23 probes, which is just not what we'd call a healthy probe count by any stretch of the imagination.
Almost definitely. And his main Nexus is just now about to finish, so he's been effectively running on 1 base. I mean, 25 probes for 1 base is good. It would be nice to see him start producing a lot of probes right now to try to get himself back into the game. Maybe scout around and find this hidden expansion. That would help as well.
You're absolutely Right, 25 probes on one base is pretty decent, but it's not quite so great when your opponent is on 3 bases with 55. Make that 65 probes. He's about to be overprobed. So we are going to see an explosion here from White if he throws down enough gateways.
And we do see Templar tech has been continued to be used by White. He has gotten a lot of high Templar. Storm is about 1/4 done.
All right, this could be interesting here from Orange. Orange is flying the shuttle around the right side, but I don't know if he knows the Nexus is here. So if he just moves the shuttle around the outside of the map and isn't ready for the Nexus, the shuttle could totally get sniped by the cannons. Let's see if he's aware of it. I don't think he is. Well, he drops the Reaver, so pretty good reaction time. And now White is going to have to evacuate this Nexus. He's flying the shuttle around. Cannons are doing a lot of damage, though. Will the cannons get a Reaver kill? Not quite. Will they get the shuttle? He gets it down. Nice.
That was really cute. He used that bush under the tree actually protected the Reaver from a few shots from the cannons. Somehow.
Yeah, it did.
As did the tree shortly afterwards. That was actually really cute.
That's something I didn't actually know until like pretty recently. That if you're under the doodads, you get that. I think it's either 50 or 30% mischance. So
Yeah.
it behaves a bit like high ground.
Yeah. You remember the map Demon's Forest back in the day? Actually, hold on.
We got a harass in the natural here. Shuttle flying over. Templars being dropped. Storm's going off. Oh my god. That mineral line is destroyed.
And no effort to save the Templar, but I guess the shuttle is more important.
Yeah. White losing his Nexus to the 3rd. I guess decides it's too far away. It's scouted. Just not going to bother to defend it.
And at the same time, he takes the 3rd base that is the more appropriate 3rd base, his natural 3rd.
So White's still holding a pretty ridiculous advantage at this point. He's got 40 supply advantage. His eco advantage is absurd.
Yeah, that stone drop really reset the economic attempt of Orange to get back into this game.
Yeah, he was almost starting to be back on a healthy 2-base economy, and then all of a sudden it's like no reaction storm drop kills probably 15-20 probes and back to the Stone Ages.
Comparing this into like Age of Empires or something where you do have like, you know, a Stone Age, you know, that was actually a really good analysis because this is like a Stone Age economy for Protoss right now.
Yeah.
It's something that you would have maybe 5 minutes into the game.
Yes, 17-minute eco.
Yeah.
Also, alright, so Orange has speed. He's going to need to do a ton of harass to get back in this, or have White really fuck something up. But White has an ob spotting, so White should see this. He's had a long time to see it. He runs some probes. He's going to target down the cannon. He's got the cannon down, but that gives the probes time to run. And the Reavers need to get picked up. The shuttle's pretty low on health, though, so the goons will probably snipe. Oh, no. They were shooting the Reaver.
That was really well done.
It was.
One of the things that almost went in Orange's favor is the fact that there were apparently about 30 probes in that natural mineral line because it looked like White grabbed 12,
Yep.
and then there were still like 8 left over.
Yeah, there were. Alright, so White's going to reposition ups. One of the things that was interesting, too, is from earlier, White built this little cannon between his natural and 3rd. I guess that's kind of random, but I guess the idea is just to help it shoot at a randomly incoming shuttle. Because that cannon is certainly not defending any sort of attack. It's like the, hey, if you have a really slow shuttle and you're not paying attention and park it there, my cannons will snipe it.
I believe he saw this shuttle and now he's going to try to intercept it.
That is a really bad place to fly a shuttle. Oh.
Oh, he gets sniped.
But we have a secondary shuttle trying to fly into the 3rd base, dropping 2 Reavers now at the 3rd base. Going to be a good scarab that gets 6 or 7. The Templar not storming the Reaver despite having 200 energy, so either he doesn't have Psystorm. Oh, whoa! Those last 2 scarabs, yeah, those last 2 scarabs were huge. Does storm the Reavers away.
And now suddenly Orange is within 10 probes of the White Protoss that had about a 40 probe lead at one point.
Of course, White does have 3 Nexuses, so he has pretty good probe replenishing capabilities. And he has a ridiculous Templar count. It's 10 Templar.
It does. It should be noted that this whole entire time, White has been mining the gas in his main with the probes that he ran away from his natural.
Oh, so. That's, yeah. His natural's still heavily saturated, though.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have an engagement here as Orange is walking down and White is walking right up towards him. This is pretty good arc for both players, so this should be a pretty even battle, just depending on the quality of the storms here. As the army sizes are similar, a lot of high Templar though for White. We'll see what kind of storms he can hit, and it looks like he's throwing down a bunch of storms on the clumped up goons, and White just has a far superior army, and say GG Fast is just like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I always find it ironic when people have names like say GG Fast and then they don't GG. It's like it's in your name. I mean, I guess technically when you see say GG Fast has left the game, they technically drop that GG, but I don't think it's intentional. Yeah, that was an interesting game. A little bit of cheese.
Yeah, if there had been just a little bit better execution from White, I think he could have pulled that off. Although I have to admit, I was a little surprised that say GG Fast had such good micro at first, and then just kind of fell apart after that. I realized the 3DTs were pretty devastating, but to lose the Reavers like that, and then he just sort of fell apart after that.
Maybe he's one of those micro tournament champions, the guy who's like a pro at Dragoon versus Zealot or something like that, and then everything after that he hasn't really bothered with or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or it's like when you have to, like, you can get really good at micro tournament, but then your micro can go to shit when you actually have to worry about macroing too, just because it's like you're not used to splitting your focus that way.
Definitely true.
All right, so we'll see what our next game is for the day.
IOPQ says you're casting people I play with on ladder, so IOPQ feeling a definite personal connection here. And right now we have in the top left, we have the Brown Protoss and Stop Armada.
And in the bottom left-hand side, we have Infected, who I want to say is a Zerg player, but apparently he's playing Terran here.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a Zerg player, and he's really good actually. I think he's probably A rank.
Yeah, he's A minus. I know he was like A minus under the old system. I don't know how the new system changes things. My hunch, although I haven't really looked into it, is the new system on IC Cup doesn't change things a lot up to like yellow ranks, and maybe not even that much at yellow ranks, but then it gets a bit easier above that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it gave people a certain boost, but at first I really hated the new system because I thought it was, it was like an easy climb ladder, give people more or less free points. A C player can get 75 points for being a keyboard rank player. But now I'm starting to understand how it's specifically tailored to a smaller amount of players total, because you're gonna face a lot of D players because everyone is still smurfing, still making secondary accounts. So you're going to face D players no matter what rank you're at. So it kind of evens out the playing field, I guess. It makes it so you don't have to wait for a C minus or a B minus in order to get the points that you need.
And now, was the actual point structure revamped too in terms of the wins and losses? I think I recall hearing that as well.
Well, the way it works is the way like C plus, C minus, and C, they all gain and lose the same amount of points against each other, and all D versus all
that's
C,
what's okay.
Yeah, and all C rank against all D rank is the same gain and loss. So a C plus versus a D minus is the same thing as a C minus versus a D.
That explains why I played some guy that was like when I was like, I don't know, I like just logged in and hadn't played in a few months, and I lost to a few people. I was a D minus, and I played some D plus guy, and I lost 50 points, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So it does hurt lower ranked players to lose to higher ranked players more, but it benefits higher ranked players to win against lower ranked players, and you don't lose as much when you lose as a higher ranked player. I think this is actually a really good adaptation for the lower people.
I guess the idea there then is just to make it so the higher ranked players rank up a little quicker.
Yeah.
And get out of the pool.
That's right. And right now we see that I love the way that Terrans have been building this depot racks placement, because if you build the factory right there, like they don't even bother bringing it close to the command center anymore. IOPQ says that he was D minus and he played a B plus, and he went 1 win, 5 losses, and he lost points. That was definitely not true in the old system. If you went 1 and 5 against a D plus player as a D minus player, you would be up at least 100 points, I think.
Let's see. I think you would have won like you would have gotten 150. And you would have been losing like 25 per. So at worst case, you would have like broke even.
Actually, I think he would have only lost 10 points. I think that was the absolute minimum.
For 2 rank difference, D minus versus D plus.
No, D minus versus B plus.
Oh yeah, you would have been losing like nothing.
Oh, and this is really cute. We see a second attempt at the Terran supply depot.
Oh, he gets a Manor Depot down. What is
Manor
this?
Depot.
What
That's
is
nuts.
this? How does that even? How do you even let the SCV make a Manor Depot?
And the best part was there was 2 probes on that one mineral, which makes absolutely no sense on top of everything.
I'll never forget a game I played. It was one of my favorites, just because this Protoss player I was trying to Manor Pylon, and he sent he was trying to get my probe or something. And he overreacted and drilled with all of his probes into one of the little crannies, and I Manor Pylon all 10 probes.
The best is when you face players who don't know what to do about that. They just leave. It's like,
Yeah, I've seen that. Or they just freak out and they pull all your probes off the mineral line and they're chasing you around like a CPU game.
Well, it looks like we are going to see a fairly standard
3 Goon Expo?
Yeah, this is like a FD with... Yeah, this is just going to be a regular
28
FD,
Nexus, 3 Goon Expo, and Terran looks like he's FDing. Yeah, pretty standard opening so far other than random depot.
And one thing to be noted is LRM Infected's knowledge of the Terran versus Protoss matchup is a little bit limited. You can tell because he still kept 3 SCVs on gas, which slows down his command center timing. I definitely don't think he did that on purpose, but actually he is going for a strong FD instead of a regular FD, and he is moving out a little bit early.
Why is he moving? If you're going to make a second tank, don't move out now. What are you doing? What are you...
Right, and
What? What is this? What is this?
I guess he's trying to position himself, maybe? Or maybe he's trying to hide the fact that he's going for a strong FD.
I guess that's possible, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, but he's gonna get the tank snipe. The tank is no. Oh,
that hurts.
Now chasing with just the Marines is a bad idea because the goons can easily micro that. So Infected is getting owned right here.
Yeah, and his command center is now really, really late compared to the Nexus. I mean, it's normal for the command center to be slightly later than the Nexus in this kind of build exchange, but not so heavily. And Protoss seems to be going for a very standard. He's following up with a Robo.
Actually, he's not following up with a Robo. He's following up with a Citadel.
He's following up with a Citadel and a Robo.
There's a Robo? Where's the Robo? Oh, I see where it is. Yeah,
So
okay.
he is going DT drop, it seems like.
Yeah. So not, I would say a common build, but I don't know if I'd call it a standard build.
Yeah, no, I thought I saw the Robo before the Citadel, so I thought he was going to go Robo, 2 gates, obs.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's going for the DT drop, and let's see, Alright, Infected plays smart. He adds an engineering bay before the second factory, which is good.
Yeah, if you don't have the eBay and you've got one fact, it's pretty hard to defend DT drop.
It's more or less impossible, I would say. You can do some cute stuff with mines, but the most damning thing is that the DTs can drag the mines into your mineral line.
They can do that, and honestly, if with 1 or 2 vultures that you'll have from one fact, if you are on top of them with the DTs, you can just kill the mines as they go down half the time.
And I'm actually surprised that Brown somehow has all this gas, because he's going observers and DTs at the same time.
Is he actually able to do that?
Yeah, I've never been able to do that. I don't know what he did better than I did.
Maybe it's the fact that he held at 3 goons. Do you always hold at 3 goons? Or do you usually keep making goons until your archives is done? That may account for a little extra gas.
So now we see the full effect of Infected's inability to push with both tanks. The fact that he didn't push with both tanks allowed Brown to survive with 3 dragoons.
Yep.
Which allowed an earlier DT timing.
That, though, to be honest, too, that was also just poor micro on the FD. You should at least get a goon or something out of that if you're going to go FD far enough to lose your tank. But he just kind of left his tank in the front, and Armada was like, free tank.
Oh, perfect timing on the turret, but the DTs do get in. They're going to snipe this turret down.
But he only... Brood Revival saying that Infected told me he was a B rank Terran.
Really?
But
I guess good players are good no matter what race they play. That's the moral of that story.
I would think most players that are C or better are probably at least C minus with any of their races. He got way too near the turret and loses a DT to that. So it looks like these DTs are not doing that much so far.
Well, one of them does remain in the main. There's no way that Yellow could win this up until he gets a turret up, and I'm surprised he's not making a turret anywhere in his main. He is rebuilding a turret on the perimeter so that...
Oh, is he going to put the Marines near the DT and splash it? I think he wants to do that.
Please do. Oh!
Don't
almost. Do it. Do it.
Drills on... Alright, now you can just shoot... Oh, does that hit it, though? Does that hit? I think it might not. I think it might hit the edge of the depot.
No, it definitely did some damage
It
to
did? Okay.
the DT because his shield went down to 0. Oh,
Alright, there we go.
nice.
Yeah, there we
That
go.
was sweet.
So
That was
that's a
fucking
cute way
sweet.
of dealing with it.
Yep. I think I told you earlier that at any opportunity that I have, I always use the splash technique, the Reaver splash, the Archon splash. Well, now we're seeing the Terran Sea Snake splash, which is I think a classic, boxer classic. And
It's
it worked out beautifully.
it's a nice tactic. I'm just personally like really bad at it. Like the Archon Splash, trying to figure out like I can never find where the unit I want to hit is. Like I want to Archon Splash a lurker. I'll kill like 5 zealots trying to find. I'm like, where the fuck is the lurker? What the fuck? I'm super bad at it.
Alright, well, we just wrecked half his stuff and stopped mining. It was very effective. Yeah, so
Yeah.
IOPQ saying that the DT was actually super effective. And the SCV count is at 30, whereas the probe count is at 35. So actually economies are quite similar.
But quite a bit of lost mining time on one base, and of course during this Protoss got up his third, he's getting out his Arbiter tech, and Terran only has 2 factories, so there's going to be no opportunity for Terran aggression, and Terran is going to be dealing with a Protoss that has some really nice tech out.
That's true, and these vultures are, slow vultures are suicide to their deaths. He did spot that there's a third base. I don't know if he scanned it as well, but I don't believe in harassing with slow vultures. It just does not work. But as soon as that speed kicks in, that's when vultures, even a small amount of them, can be so annoying for Dragoons to handle.
Oh my god. Yeah, 2 or 3 small vultures that run by, and then you pull the Dragoons to your third, and they run like 3 more into your main, you're just like, okay.
And yeah, Protoss economy is starting to look lively now. He's adding probes at all 3 bases. And he is adding gates. He's starting a forge, which I think is questionable, but he is actually almost done with his first arbiter. This Protoss has been on the ball with his tech up. Like, I'm so surprised that he has all the gas necessary for all this. But he is now mining 3 gas, so. And Terran has started finished his third command center. He's probably going to try to fly over right now to the third base, but the Protoss observer will see it.
Yeah, it seemed a little early for the forge. I guess he wants the cannons from it, but I don't know. I tend to be not a major fan of cannons before you've got like solid 3 base and a decent number of gateways, unless you know Terran is doing like a certain few things. But if you're just gonna sit on like 3 base tech, I don't feel like you really need the cannons.
That's true, and on top of that, I feel like he thinks he's more far ahead than he actually is. I think
yeah,
he
that
did
might be the
just
case.
So he wouldn't have to worry about it because he saw how much money. He's like, oh, I'm rich, you know. But now Terran is actually almost evened up with the supply count, and he sent those SCVs to mine way too early. The command center is not even landed yet. The observer sees all of this, though. I wonder if he's going to try to pressure this at all. He doesn't really have much of an army for pressuring.
Yeah, if he had a shuttle, it would be a possibility. But lacking that shuttle, you know, I don't see a good opportunity for it.
I have a PvT theory, is that if you prevent the Terran from getting a third base, you can't lose. So for like years, my entire PvT strategy was not letting Terran get a third base. Like, I would go shuttle every game. I would go 2 base with like 6 gate before every game. And IOPQ Mirror is saying that this is where another shuttle would be so good. There is the coverage in the main and the natural is actually pretty good, and Terran is getting a star for it.
Yeah, you shouldn't lose to a Terran if you keep him to 2 bases and expand yourself. Although I have seen a few cases where like Terran does some sort of ridiculous push and Protoss sucks with their army control and like allows 2 base Terran to push up to their natural.
That definitely seems to be at least from my ladder experience this season, the current meta is just a shitload of 6-fact pushes, really fast 4-fact pushes, so on and so forth. And we see Vultures trying to break through, but Protoss does the cute thing and blocks it off with Pylon, Gateway, Pylon, and wow, another cannon there. Oh, okay, yeah.
He just puts gateways and cannons and everything down. He's like, nope, you're not getting in your Vultures.
Right.
So you said it feels like this season, that's what Terrans have been doing, lots of 2 base stuff?
Well, I'm not sure if it's just this season. I haven't really laddered until this season, but
because that sounds like a paradise for me.
Sorry?
I said that sounds like paradise for me. I've always felt really, really strong against those kind of things.
You know, I used to think I was strong against those things, but apparently I'm not. My PvT is below 50% right now. It's quite sad. But
what's your overall win rate? Is it still your strongest matchup or not?
No, it's my strongest is PvZ now.
Says the haters are. Uh-oh, vulture intercept, vulture intercept. Here come. Oh no, realize it, realize it. You've only got a short window. He gets one. He gets one, and then he just gives up. Maybe got 2 out of that, but that's 3. Can make it 3. Make it 3.
You got it.
3.
Trades it for a vulture. That's a good trade.
150 for 75. Sure.
Plus,
oh, we have a potential recall. He gets it off. It's a pretty big recall.
That is a meaty recall.
That is a good one.
That is a beauty recall.
That's going to do a ton of damage. It was like the formation of all the units too was perfect. They were like ready to go. So lots of damage going down here at the third base of Infected right now. Who's bringing his vultures, bringing his tanks over. Now he should be able to snipe the CC. He doesn't have SCVs to repair, and there aren't that many tanks. They're not sieging up yet. They need to siege up fast, but I don't think he can stop it. No, CC is definitely going to die. There we go. One more shot. Boom. Third CC down. We'll clean up the rest of the Dragoons pretty easily. Oh, I said that, and then all of a sudden there were a bunch of Zealots I didn't see.
Yeah. I like that they were picking up the turrets at the top to try to make future recalls easier, but I also would have liked to see him snipe that depot and then just walk his whole army out as soon as he sniped the CC.
Yeah, he could have done that for sure. Had the Zealots attack the depot and then just run out. Yeah, that would have been smart.
Also, I didn't know this, but the unattached Terran Comsat station is still gaining energy. So if he lands another CC there, he's gonna.
Whoa! I just learned something new about Brood War. Nice.
Me too. Yeah, I didn't know that worked like that. Energy.
So wait. That means if you're like really scared, you're gonna run out of scans. Like I don't know, there's some weird lurker situation, or you don't have a vessel and it's like a ZVT. It's like some weird base trade situation. Just lift your extra CC and like externally make like 10 comsats and then just float the CC to each one.
That's right. You could definitely do that. Or I think in a more practical application is when your third gets denied, and you have an extra CC in your main. You make some comsat stations in your main with the CC that floated from your third. That could definitely work.
Note that Terran is dropping 2 tanks into the far main of Protoss, possibly bringing some vultures too. So this will have some potential to deny the Nexus. Protoss is definitely going to have to kill off his pylons. The fact that his Dragoons are so close means he probably can't kill the Nexus, but he can definitely get some probes here if Protoss isn't paying good attention.
And that gateway is making DTs right now.
Art of Turtle saying you can't plague a lurker without vision of the lurker.
Really?
I didn't know that. That would be really interesting. That would be such a bizarre thing to see.
Wait, I didn't know that you could plague things that were burrowed in the first place.
I think he means unburrowed. I think. That would be really weird, though. Lurkers are somehow semi-immune to plague. Alright, so Dragoons are coming over, so he's going to clean this up. But he did lose almost all of his probes here. Oh, that's a bit sloppy with the Dragoons there. Finally gets them cleared out, though. And we'll get that last tank picked off. Or he'll just walk. Oh, he wants the dropship. He wants the dropship. Alright, he gets the dropship. Comes back for the tank.
Good call. Taking a hit or 2 on Dragoons is worth the dropship, I feel. But now the SCV and probe counts are almost equal, which I feel like it hurts Protoss more than it does Terran.
It does. It does, although Terran is only just now relanding that third CC, so Protoss is mining from a much superior mining distribution, if you will.
Yeah, and we see Terran is adding a lot of factories. He's up to 8 factories now. So we are probably going to see this monster push coming soon. I haven't seen an armory from Terran. Oh, no, they're in the natural.
What are they upset? Does he have anything yet? He's got 1-0.
1-0, and he's about to be 2-0.
No, he's not upgrading from. Oh, okay. He's upgrading from one armory, but not the other.
Yeah.
But Protoss actually has one. He got shields. Why shields?
I feel like it might help arbiters a little bit, or the only other time I've seen shields is when you're going carriers, and it does look like in fact he is going carriers. If you look at the fleet beacon, remember the game that you casted last time where the Protoss got shields also as a second upgrade?
Yeah.
It's because he was going carrier upgrades.
Why did the Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they benefit both ground and air.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you get to start it earlier.
Small recall in the main, just a few Dragoons, but quite a few Zealots here, which is kind of annoying for Infected because he just happily sieged up at the natural, but he's just going to bring back a lot of his Vultures, and that should clean up the Zealots fairly easily. There's only 4 Dragoons, so if he stays away from those, he'll be able to deal with this fairly easily, although his factory position is kind of awkward. It's sort of blocking off his units.
Oh, I would have loved to see a tech snipe here. Sniping the science facility with more purpose would have been...
He's going to get it, though. And actually, no, now he's going to go for the starport. He's switching.
I hope he gets both.
Yeah, he should get both.
For the Protoss here.
Terran's lifting that one off. he definitely gets that. Now he should get the, yeah, he's got the science facility too.
Yes, yes, that's beautiful. That's what I feel like.
And he's doing a lot to the depots. This is very slow from Infected. I don't know how much of that is his factories, but this is not being handled especially well right now. And he's also losing a decent number of vultures to clean up these few zealots. So that was a beautiful recall.
Yeah, that was everything you would want a Protoss recall to be. I recently played a game where I recalled this guy at least 15 times over the course of 30 minutes, and I didn't get anything close to that much. So that's what you want from a recall. But the probe count is still relatively low, I feel like, for the Protoss. 54 probes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take a look here in the natural. There's a vulture here, but it literally, I was watching this vulture and it sat there for 15 seconds without doing anything. I don't know how that happened. It was like in range of everything and it just sat there. I don't know what triggered it to not do anything.
What could have happened is something attacked it out of range, attacked it and moved out of range, kind of like the Dragoon bug, where you
that kind of bug with a vulture, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I've just never seen that happen with a vulture.
Boudoir, learning new things every day.
All right, here comes Infected moving out with his push. Is he going for carriers though? Because I don't see anything yet in terms of carriers. He's just made 2 arbiters, which are kind of just derping out here right now. He gets them both EMP'd, I think. And this engagement is a disaster for Protoss. His army was just sitting in range of Terran and just started running into Terran awkwardly.
And he got the money EMP on both arbiters.
Yep.
They weren't even stacked. And I am surprised that there are no carriers, but it looks like Infected knows about it, because that's a relatively large amount of Goliaths. Usually
yeah.
Like 4. But now the Protoss counter push is coming, and oh, okay, this tank line is deeper than I thought it was. But let's see how it plays out.
It's a pretty deep take line. The Zealots are trying to get into it. He's trying to run on top of it. He's actually got a lot more Zealots coming up. It looks like he's got enough to get through most of this, although the Zealots are kind of running around weird. Nope, Infected is going to take care of this and keep pushing up. Usually as Protoss, you don't want to lose your whole army like this, although he does get rid of almost everything Terran has, but when you leave Terran with 5 or 6 tanks and those reinforcement vultures suddenly arrive, usually it's not a very pleasant feeling.
Yeah, and on top of that, normally when you're during an engage, you expect yourself to keep all your Dragoons, so you start macroing pure Zealot, and when your killing of the push does not succeed and you lose all your Dragoons and you have pure Zealot, suddenly your army is very, very weak.
And then Terran's usually reinforcing with vultures, so if you lost all your Dragoons, you're just like, oh man.
That's right, but it looks like this is actually a really healthy tank count to make this push right now.
Oh, good spotting there. He notices the DT right away and scans. Of course, the vessel arrived at almost the same timing.
And yeah, I'm feeling a lot of trouble for our Protoss player right now. It's going to be hard for him to keep this natural. He doesn't have a lot of army out. He doesn't have a lot of gateways at his other main. He's just building a second one now. And yeah, this push is definitely going to take out this natural.
Yeah, there's no way. And more annoyingly for Protoss is the fact that he is going to lose and have all of his gateways sieged up. And he doesn't have a lot of gateways at his external base. So if he can't do anything about this quickly, it's going to be really problematic. He can try to stay up his main and go into a recall kind of game, but...
The other problem is that I think Protoss intended to go carriers, but he never did. And because he intended to, he stopped Arbiter production. At this point in the game, I wouldn't be surprised if Protoss had 6 Arbiters. But he only had those 2 and they both got EMP'd, and he just lost one to Goliath. So now his defensive capabilities are so much slimmer than they were before. But Terran is pulling out of the natural. I like this move. It's really hard usually to push up.
Uh-oh. My game just lagged. Okay, I guess I'm good now.
Yep, looks like it's fine. And let's see. So yeah, even though the supplies are in Protoss' favor, this nothing. It seems like Protoss can't get an army together to face this push in the middle of the map.
Yep. Although he's getting a lot of stuff now from his other gateway, like a good offensive recall or a good stasis combined with offensive recall could be pretty strong in this situation.
And we see now the Protoss is trying to move out of his main base, grab some units, but it looks like he's going to lose this base too, and suddenly the advantage of Protoss is starting to dwindle, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be maybe freaking out yet as Protoss, but I'd definitely be saying, uh-oh, if I don't do something soon, I'm gonna lose my advantage.
Yeah, and Protoss, he's supply blocked right now. I think it's because he lost so many pylons, Nexus, so on and so forth.
Looking
And
for
that really
building
hurts.
pylons, which he's not. He's not building pylons anywhere. So yeah.
And I think he's just gonna walk into this.
Oh, the third! I
base
didn't realize he hadn't
offense.
re-walled the third. That's a pretty. Oh, he's getting the barracks down. And
Oh,
it looks
he
like
got
it is a good
the
wall,
barracks
but
just in time.
will his reactions be fast enough? It doesn't look like they are. He is bringing back a lot of his army to deal with this right now. It's fine though. He's killed the base he wanted to. But I think Protoss might get up here and deny the third base of Terran, which will leave Terran with no mining. This is a pretty important defense right now. He does have an army to deal with it, but he would really prefer to save that CC if he can. Oh, he ramp stasis his.
So beautiful. I love when that works out like that.
So
And
now
he's gonna lift the CC. Good. Our what's it called? Our
Protoss is having
enlightening
serious
combat
ramp
guide.
difficulty. Look at these units. Look at these units. He is having ultimate ramp difficulty. He just now noticed it. He wasted
Dragoons
a
are
good
notorious
15
for
seconds
that.
doing nothing. 20 seconds doing nothing. Oh, now the army's here.
parked outside.
So the rest of
And-
Protoss is going to get pretty wrecked. Actually, he might still get the CC though. He does have some Dragoons. Oh, his Dragoons are shooting his own other Dragoons. This is bungled really badly from Protoss.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and it still might work. So is he going to get the CC? I think he's going to get it. It's 113. It's 50. It's got it. He's
Oh,
got
the
it.
repair. The repair.
Wait, does he have no
Oh.
arbiters? Arbiters for the win, man. Actually, the Dragoon may have helped with that too. He's gonna shoot ability to get one of these arbiters. No, arbiters are pretty beefy. They don't die easily.
Yeah, it should be noted that he has 2 air attack upgrades, so he definitely intended to go carriers, and now he is actually going carriers. He has 2 out, 2 more coming. I don't know if 2 Stargate carriers is the way to win a game though. Like that just seems like an underinvestment, if you ask me.
In most situations, I would say yes, but Infected is currently not mining, so that's kind of a damper on Goliath production.
True, that is true. LRM Infected is at 500 minerals not mining, and he's floating his main CC to the other base.
Interestingly, he has another CC that's just like floating sort of towards the natural. He could fly that to 6 o'clock.
True. And I don't think Protoss realizes how far ahead he is economically right now. If I was Protoss, I would be pushing the issue right now. He's not macroing even. He has 10 idle gateways. And I feel like Protoss is just more intent on shoring up his own position as opposed to pushing the issue. Which in most cases is a good idea, but in this case I feel like he could have done something more.
I think this arbiter's about to get EMP'd. It's got 107 energy.
Oh, he
Totally
dodged it.
misses the EMP though. And the vessel wants to chase a little bit, then backs off.
Yeah, so this is definitely not looking good for Infected. He is at 25 SCVs, 1 mining base. He's just now getting his 6 o'clock. He does track these probes down to the 3 o'clock, but it's not going to do much, I think. This
Only gets 2. Only gets 2. Actually, wait. There's a zealot there, and it's gonna take out the vulture. But the army of Infected is just gonna roll right across the map. So the third is, or this 6 base or whatever, is gonna get taken out pretty quickly.
And if he doesn't cancel these cannons, it could be troublesome.
Yeah, I think the vultures are just gonna kill all the probes and just not even worry about the cannons. Actually, no, he's targeting the cannons. Then he's like, maybe I should kill the probes instead while they're here. DT's coming over to try to deal with these vultures. There should be a scan. No scan. No scan. Oh, Protoss is busy, or Terran's dealing with a zealot at his 4th base. So DT's gonna clean up all those vultures, I guess.
Yeah. You know what's something really interesting that I learned a year ago or so from phasers is that with a group of vultures you can shift attack probes, so you can pre-program 10 probe kills. And now we see carriers coming into the 3rd base of LRM Infected. There's 4 carriers, nothing too serious, but
But again, no mining from this base.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot.
And he's actually gonna lose the CC.
Yeah, if this command center goes down, it's gonna be really problematic. And this Protoss is at a healthy advantage, I feel like now. But this Terran push coming up to top right is gonna be very damaging. There's only DTs coming out of the gateways, and there are vessels supporting.
Yeah, although he does have the opportunity to do maybe some offensive recalls or whatever, depending on how Terran sieges up. And right now, like, his tanks are super clustered. Like, if he just offensive recalls on that, I bet he gets rid of half those tanks and the carriers come and clean up whatever's left.
Do you mean defensive recall?
Yeah, I guess that would be... Oh, actually, yeah, I guess that would be a defensive recall, huh?
Yeah, but the carriers are in the main. I feel like there's just not enough carriers to do the damage that he wants. He's picking up turrets, but he's not doing... And Goliaths are coming out at the same time, but Protoss base is getting shot down, and If actually both of these Protoss bases go down, that would be really problematic for Protoss, because he's only mining off his overclock after he loses these bases. It's
Oh.
actually getting full tight.
Protoss wants the armories with these 4 carriers. He's ignoring the Goliath right now to get him, but I don't think he can stop it, and Infected just says GG.
Wow.
To be honest, though, I think if Infected had had 3 tanks there and just had his barracks landed, I think he probably wins that game.
I feel like...
Because he lost
like if
a decent amount of stuff in
out,
that, and all of his mining as well.
I feel like if the Protoss... I mean, if the Terran walked up into the top right base and split up 3 tanks for the bottom right base, Protoss would be out of mining. I don't think that...
Yeah, he may have been able to do that too.
Over. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game.
WWW1.
Oh, oops.
2 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
Or a step.
You didn't have me added as a friend, so I'm very, very lonely and get no notification. Alright, another Fighting Spirit game.
3, 2, 1, go! So, spawning in the top left... This is just the positions of the day. Spawning in the top left-hand position as our orange Protoss, we have somebody who is Rutgers QQM. And in the bottom left-hand corner as our yellow Protoss, we have So.Sexy.
So Sexy. So Sexy is a very prominent 2v2 player, and she/he, I believe they either pretend to be a female or they claim to be a female. I'm not trying to say that they're not a female, but I doubt it. They've been a prominent player in the East Coast before this, and this replay is actually very old.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rutgers sounds like something that could be from like an original iteration of like the Collegiate Star League or something.
That's right.
So that would be what, 08 maybe, give or take.
Yep, that's about right.
Actually, slightly before I came to Brood War. I mean, I'd played Brood War as a kid, like, you know, dicking around in the campaign and typing in the Gathering and mind controlling everything, but beyond that. That was actually the reason I initially picked Protoss, is because I was obsessed with mind control.
Mind control, my favorite mind control based build is the Destination Rush to Mind Control build, because on Destination and PvP, Reavers were incredibly popular.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So if one player goes Reavers, the other player goes Mind Control and steals the Reaver and the shuttle, you've suddenly stolen all of their tech. Like, their shuttle and their Reaver, and then you do a counter push with speed lots.
It's an interesting idea.
It's beautiful. I've seen it work on like, I'm not sure if it was a professional level or just a really good foreigner level, but I remember seeing it work and I was inspired, and I just stole the build and tried it every opportunity I had. And it looks like we have 1 gate gas from the orange Protoss. The yellow Protoss is going 1 gate pylon, which is awkward. 1 gate pylon gas, so slightly delayed.
Wait, I'm confused. Stardom says, ugh, we can't hear anything if you were trying to talk, but Art of Turtle is responding to you just fine, so I'm not exactly sure what is going on.
Yeah, IOPQ has been messaging me in my stream saying that he can hear me, so it seems like...
Although your stream could have different settings from mine, but yeah, I'll change the volume if needed. But at least Art of Turtle can hear you.
Word.
Art of Turtle says that's too complicated.
Art of Turtle, as long as Senpai notices me, that's all that matters.
Art just says start and pay attention, so I guess it's fine for Art of Turtle. So I'm assuming if you have your volume settings properly, it's not a problem.
That's right, okay.
So why do you Claire stats? Claire stats.
Oh. I guess someone did some spying earlier.
For fun. Yeah, maybe he's trying to see, do I need to be... Oh, we're getting a little trash talk. Gotta bash them D- newbies. Actually, I won't lie. Every once in a while, it can be fun to go fuck around with just people that are bad and do stupid shit.
I was at one point an IC Cup administrator, and the first thing I did as an IC Cup administrator is intentionally lose my first 20 games. and to get to keyboard rank, and then they said that I'm not allowed to do that. So then I just started winning all my games all the way back up to C minus, and people were just so puzzled and like confused about about the fact that they were losing to a keyboard rank player.
Yeah, I played a guy like that. That was pretty surprising. I played a guy that was like, I don't know, 3 and 25 or something like that, D minus, and I looked through his match history. He played mostly pretty weak people, but he had all like 20, 30, 40-minute games, right? Like it seemed to be legit games. But like I played him, and he played a lot better than what I would consider like D minus. I ended up beating him, but it was a decent 30-minute game.
Both players went for 3 gateways. I don't know if the orange Protoss did it reactively to the yellow Protoss, but both Protoss players going for 3 gateways and a cybernetics port and a forge. So it's like the most non-standard mirror build. Oh, actually no forge from orange, but still. This is a very...
So he wants to cannon him on the low ground, huh?
Looks like it. And the Orange's probe is scouting around, but he's not seeing this imminent danger outside his own natural.
And we have the Robo. Well, Reavers offers some decent cannon breaking utility. And of course, the danger is you make a bunch of cannons at Protoss's ramp, and then they get a speed shuttle, and you just have Zealots, and they fly back to your base. You have major harassment problems.
And we are seeing a Citadel of a Dune as well, so... it's going to be kind of tough. I don't know how the Protoss managed to do it last game, but I don't know if this Protoss is going to summon enough gas to get Reavers, Dragoons, and Observers at the same time. And let's see, is there Templar Archives going down? Looks like there's about to be for yellow. And at the same time, though,
Orange trying to break. He's fighting in the range of 1 cannon, but yellow's got reinforcements coming in. I would go kill the cannon with at least a few of his units. A lot of his units are derping hardcore, though. Did you see those 3 Zealots, man? They didn't do anything.
And these cannons...
It's going to be close, but Orange is going to take this. Orange got it. Reinforcement Dragoon, 3 gateways close, so plan for a yellow fails hard.
Yeah, but Orange lost way more than he should have in this engagement. Way, way more. There was no reason to lose this much. And the Templar Archives are at about 75% done. We're getting cannons on the ramp to prevent any Dragoon harass. And I guess this somehow mimicked a Pro League game at the time.
Also, I want to mention there's no chance that Yellow is going to get Reavers and DTs because Yellow's mining with 2 probes on gas.
Oh, I was talking about Orange getting Observers and Reavers and cannons, but Yellow's not going to have Observers anytime soon. But
he doesn't pay much attention. Oh, Yellow's got 2 cannons on the high ground.
These 2 Zealots are so key. These 2 Zealots made it there just in time.
Yeah. It's going to allow him to hold this. High ground cannons are strong, especially against low ground range units.
That Zealot timing was just OP.
But now Orange can set up a pretty solid contain.
And I feel like he's planning to do it because he brought a probe with him. I feel like he's just trying to throw it back into Yellow's face, like, haha, you scrub, check this out.
Yellow's going to make 1 DT, which this is shades of last game. No obs for Orange. Making a Reaver. DT's going to come out and force Orange to go scrambling home. Just make the obs first. I'm getting sad seeing these people get these great contain arcs up and stuff, and then nothing comes out of it. Now, oddly enough, Orange is building a pylon at the natural, but he doesn't have a forge, so it's not like he's intending to use the pylon for cannons. It's just a pylon.
I just realized this.
I guess it's like when you build a pylon at your bridge just to soak the initial hits. Maybe it's the same idea, but it's definitely a little unconventional.
And Yellow seems to be paranoid of a DT drop. He has 2 cannons, or maybe he's paranoid of any kind of drop, really. He has 2 cannons in his main base. He's still making DTs off the 3 gateways. 41 supply. It's 25 probes to 23 probes, so economies are about even.
And here we have a little bit of shuttle harass by Orange flying on into the main base. Cannon goes off, should drop the goon, stoke up the cannon fire. Reaver, the shuttle straight a little bit. Oh my god, oh my
Money
Jesus,
shots.
Scarab, that was like, that's about as good as it gets. The next one will dud. Will he get out with the shuttle though? Looking promising. Yes, he will.
Wow.
Orange, Yellow like sends probes down the ramp, tries to run them, and he's like, oh shit, Orange has an army there. Turn around, turn around. So that kills off like 10 of his probes, and now it is 16 to 23 probes. And yellow is going to try to come down the ramp with his slow lots first, which is just stupid. It's like, here, I would like to donate some slow lots. Now, if we would have sent the DTs first, I'm all for it. So Sexy says cute, but I don't know what's cute. I guess that pylon. He says how so.
I guess it's because it looks like a counter cannon rush.
DTs, bro. You know you have DTs. What's he going to do? Like save up? Oh, he's going to save up for a DT drop. All right.
4 DT drops main.
It's just like the same game as last game almost. With more chat. Oh, can the obs spot it? I don't think it quite saw it. I didn't have vision to just the obs, but...
I don't think so.
And of course, Orange has that annoying problem of, oh, 4 DTs in my main, all my units are back home. And there's no cannon, so the DTs are gonna rape and pillage Orange's base.
Bad. And Orange is still on 25 probes. I feel like Orange is overconfident right now. He's getting the third base.
Here comes the shuttle.
Oh my god.
Just dropping him. Now he's going to go for probes first or the Nexus first? I think he's just going to rape the probes and then kill the Nexus.
Oh my god.
That's just the worst.
This is tragic.
Just look back. All of a sudden he's down to 12 probes and he's lost his Nexus. If Orange comes back from this, it'll be a sweet game. But I don't see it. DT drop is pretty good when it works.
It's
I've
really
lost
good.
some games to this. I remember losing a game to Prophecy versus this. I felt like I was like kicking his ass, and then all of a sudden 4 DTs come into my main. And I even had 2 cannons, but like I reacted slowly, and one cannon was sort of in a bad spot, and I was like, no.
He's gonna snipe the Robo. Now
He's gonna
snipe
get
the
everything.
Observatory. He's gonna make sure that Orange has no detection for a long time.
Well, Orange does have an obs out, though.
He has 1, yeah.
Actually, he's got a micro with these goons. He's got a micro. Well, okay, now he's okay. I was gonna say, if you're not careful, 4 DTs will definitely kill 4 Dragoons.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying. This is risky. This is risky. He pulls it off, though. Wow.
Wow. The pull,
Nice. Big balls and a good save.
though. Yeah, both players. With
Oh, now we got speed lots. We're
going
gonna try to break this up with speed lots. He needs to get to that Reaver quick and force a
The
pickup or
Reaver's one.
something. And he is gonna do just that. Now he just need to chase the shuttle around with a couple zealots, which he's actually doing. I really like that. Although it's still too many units from Orange, so So Sexy gets a pretty nice advantage and then slightly throws it away.
Yeah.
Economically, though,
That was time.
economically, it's still a pretty nice position for So Sexy. I would like to see So Sexy maybe just flank this. I guess making High Templar is another way of dealing with it. Maybe drop the High Templar outside and like flank or something.
If I was So Sexy, I'd probably just keep harassing at this situation because he doesn't have an army to bust out even with a flank because he's going down the narrow ramp. So I would like more harass would be good.
Rutgers saying could be worse. Yeah, I guess it could always be worse. You could have no obs out right now. Well, that's a suicide shuttle. Boom.
Oh, after such good micro those DTs, he just
I know, right?
donates it.
I just DT dropped you with 4 DTs, and you know I saved some, so I'm just going to fly my shuttle, assuming you've taken all of your army back to the natural. You know what I always forget is really good? Is DT drop against Zerg's going fast hive.
Yeah.
Somehow I always realize it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, but they already have a hive now. It's like I realize it too late, and I'm like, oh yeah, they have slow overlords. I have a lot of Corsairs. It's good.
I feel like Corsairs have become a lot less useful nowadays than they were a long time ago. Or maybe I'm just bad with controlling them, but they seem to do so much more back in the day. Nowadays, it feels like almost everybody goes Hydra first anyway, so you don't really need that many Corsairs.
But it's like you have to make them, because if you don't, Zerg just switches into mutas, and you get so fucked.
Yeah, but like that's the duality of it. Like you need cannons and Templar to defend against the Hydralisks, so you can forego Corsairs for a little bit. But at any point in time, the Zerg can just switch to Mutalist and fuck your day up. So.
And they are nice to have too if you keep them alive, because like especially if you're paying attention for drops, like it's the nicest thing in the world to just intercept a drop with like 6 Corsairs. Rather than just like spotting it and being like, oh, I'm about to get dropped. Well, this is going to be rough. Because right now I'm the one losing.
So yellow is feeling very confident.
Yes, you
so
are.
is orange.
Alright, so we're going to have the shuttle a probe out past the ob, so that's not the best angle to shuttle out. Also, why to the third?
I think he's gonna take the Nexus here. He has the money saved up. He's gonna put the pylon. I feel like this Obs is completely oblivious, doesn't see anything. Oh, no, he does. He sees the shuttle coming back.
Yeah, you can see everything. So that will obviously get shut down. Rutgers is almost caught up in probe count now. Alright, we're going to have another bust attempt. He's going to try to use Archons this time. I don't know if that's really going to be any more effective, though, and he's still painfully clumped up against... Oh, but he's got a Reaver of his own. Alright, so that'll change the dynamic a bit. So we'll see how the control goes. He's losing a lot of units, but it looks like Orange has lost all of his units as well. So, oh, nice shuttle pickup. Did you see that? That was good. Oh, that one he gets hit. Oh, and down goes the Reaver.
Another case of amateur players doing something really good
Yeah.
and really bad immediately after.
Yellow or Orange probably wishing, or Yellow probably wishing he had a Dragoon or two so he could have sniped off that shuttle. But hey, Yellow's out. Orange is going to go ahead and bang away on that pylon. Imagine if Orange had brought those Dragoons to the fight instead of banging away at the pylon. Alright, so we're going to have...
That was a calculated move.
We're going to have three Zealots that run in to be scary, and meanwhile we're going to shuttle harass. Actually, he's going to, like, drop the Zealots on top of the cannon or something. I don't know. He's trying to get some shots off. A little fight at the natural, but it's not that dangerous right now. So now it's going to be about what he can do in the main. Oh, there's just that one cannon. Dropping the Reaver now, going for some shots. Pretty good shot on the probes. Keeping that economy very depressed. Oh, he's got another opportunity. And the probes are trying to drill, which is awfully risky with a Reaver running amok. Let's see if he can intercept these probes as they are transferring between the bases. 3 Dragoons, 3 shots. One needs to drop the Reaver now. Doesn't get it down.
Almost made it to the natural. I feel like if it just started slowing down.
Yeah.
If he had sent the move command all the way to the natural, it would have been there on time.
Still, now it's 25 probes for Yellow, and he has cleared away that army of Orange. The only downside for him is that Orange has double Nexus probe making capabilities and 2 bases to mine off of, but he's not currently doing that. And actually, if I were Orange, there's probably no need to really send any of those probes back to the main.
Yeah, the probe count is so low. 19 is pretty much optimal mining capacity right now.
You just lose mining time bothering to transfer them back. Like rally your Nexus to the main or something, but other than that.
Wait, I just realized something. Has the natural of FS always had only 7 minerals?
Yes, as far as I know, yes.
Wow, alright, I never noticed that. This 19 then would be just a little bit over optimal efficiency, right? Because
I mean, you continue to get more efficient, I think, up till like at least 3, but the gains from like 1 to 2 like 1 to 2 is a much bigger gain than 2 to 3 is, and then past 3 is really minimal. Trying to snipe the Archon, and Orange is getting a lot done here with his little 4 Dragoon 3 Zealot push. He's gonna walk past that Zealot, and he's gonna try to deny the Nexus. Can he pull it off? I think he might be able to. That Archon has taken a lot of hits, and it is gonna go down now. Boom. So now there's just this one speed lot, and of course the cannons, it's a shame they're not on the high ground cliff. They would maybe do a little bit better work, although it looks like these 2 Zealots are gonna be able to chase the Dragoons out, so the Nexus will not get denied.
And we see Orange going for Archons of his own now, realizing that Archons are good. Archons can win games. And Yellow going for a really sneaky little expansion on the right side in this, it's almost exactly like the position right from the game 1. Getting the Nexus over here on the 3 o'clock. And Orange is at 25 probes, Yellow is at 24 probes and almost mined out of his main. It's really interesting to see how the mineral distribution is completely changed because of the fact that Orange has not been mining.
Yeah, now the Yellow's on 1 base.
Yeah.
And Orange has minerals at both
damage,
bases.
You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And Archon Zealot against 2 Archon Dragoon Zealot.
This is weird. This is weird compositions.
Yeah.
I like how we're watching a 50 supply 20-minute PvP.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna try to go assassinate probes with the Archon. He's actually getting a few, but the Reaver's out now, so that'll probably kill the Archon in a shot. There we go.
Goes down, and the push is denied. And actually, it should be noted that Yellow has 1-1 upgrades on his forge.
1-1 against 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
And we have a the infamous 18-minute 2 Zealot 1 Archon Reaver push. Okay, it's actually gonna be Reaver harass, just like he did before. Run in with 3 units. But it's not enough. Like, if you ran in with enough units to make Protoss have to worry about his micro there. Oh, but that Reaver's... Derp. I was pretty sure it was going to derp.
He manages
then...
to bust.
Oh, that is... that could have been disastrous. Oh, he gets a hit off. Does he get one more shot? He does. They're gonna clump. They're gonna clump. They're gonna clump. Disastrous shot. Keeping the probe counts even again. Rutgers is not happy. Oh, actually, Rutgers is losing. Okay, he's got his Nexus defended now. Rutgers also finds the third base from yellow.
For the probe. I guess. I mean, he has pylons and probes all over the map, so he knows that this is bullshit. Like, he's like, yo, how is this guy keeping up? He suspects a base. Oh, and we have a probe on probe assassination because the first probe that scattered the 3 o'clock did damage to the probe that's already there, and then the second scouting probe shows up and kills the probe, so there's not going to be any cannons up here yet. And the economy is still so low for both players.
More importantly, yellow has 1 armor probes. Why did orange's probes win? Was that just first shot making all the difference?
Because it was 2 probes against 1. Just,
oh, it was 2. Oh, okay, yeah.
In rapid succession. Alright, let's see. Oh, Dragoons derp out. Don't feel like they want to go up the ramp.
Alright, so we're going to have a little micro battle at the third base. 3 Zealots versus 4 Dragoons. Who will have the better micro? I think it could be good for orange here. Well, maybe not if he runs all his Dragoons away. Alright, he's trying to collect them, trying to play a ring around the Nexus. 1 Dragoon's just shooting the Nexus while the other 3 are microing away. All the attention is on this battle right now for orange. Yellow, maybe not as much, but it looks like orange is going to take care of yellow, and yellow's going to slowly donate units because 4 Dragoons, 2 Zealots are not going to win against 4 Dragoons if he keeps up that level of micro there. And we have an Archon going for a solo attack.
This Nexus is key for orange. He wants it.
Yeah, he really wants it. And he will get it, I think. Although, actually, if he loses the second Dragoon, he's just keeping 1 Dragoon hitting. He loses it. Is he going to lose the third one? Otherwise, then he can't beat the Zealot. All he can do is just run around endlessly against it. And the Archon, he just notices and he returns his Archon, his solo Archon attack.
Yeah, because the DT is
Alright, he does get his Nexus. After spending almost all of his focus on the Nexus, he does get it.
And yellow does not have observer technology yet.
You know, it just dawned on me. Can you imagine? You know, we've just about mined out 1 base. Could you imagine how long a game would go if it continued in this fashion, mining out like 1 base at a time till both players use? You could probably get a 2-3 hour legit 1v1 out of this. I almost want to see a game like that happen now just to have casted it.
I mean, if both players just focus on killing probes at the same time. So, like, you never have enough economy to mine out more than 1 base at a time. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Both players have been below 25 probes this entire game, I think.
Yeah.
And now it looks like yellow is trying to set up his own third base now. A new third base, rather.
You mean second base? Because he's mined out.
Yeah, true.
Second mining base, but yeah, third actual base.
And orange is getting storm right now. But he's fusing Archons anyway, and he sees with the observer. But this ramp block is actually quite serious. 1 DT and 2 Archons.
If he had a few more, storms, he could break it. But he only has 1 Templar, but he might not even have storm.
Yeah, he doesn't have storm just yet, and cannons are coming up.
Although actually, given the range, he could put 1 Zealot on the very bottom part of the ramp to keep the vision. And I like the way he's using the Dragoons to force him off the ramp. If he can deny the cannons, he can continue to pressure it this way. And he's trying to walk up. Will that be the best decision? Oh, one of the Archons is down pretty quick. Dragoons are pretty strong against Archons, though, so I think Orange is going to be able to break this. Oh, did he snipe it? Oh, yeah, nice.
The observer with the Archons, so now,
good thinking.
Wow. It's crazy how low eco games turn into these like little micro situations where you have this is the main army of both players. 2 DTs, 1 Archon. Against 1 Archon, 3 Zealots, 2 Dragoons, 1 Observer. Have to snipe the Observer in order to live, you know.
And I think that's one of those things that it's not just like low eco games, but it's like low eco games like at this level, because I think at this level, you know, you don't have he gets the Observer snipe again, but you don't have like the super insane mechanics. So there's like such value into focusing on these micro situations, and both players just tend to realize, oh shit, this is important, and they gravitate towards focusing on the micro.
Yeah, I feel like, ironically, you might see some of the best micro because of people who are way more concerned with micro than macro, you know, like, I feel like better players would just be like, yeah, whatever, this army is, like, I don't care about it because I'm just going to make a new one. but for these players, the army is all that matters.
Yeah, or it just feels like really critical. It's like, oh, this is my third Nexus. I really need to defend it, so I got to micro the shit on my units. Like, if I look away, you know, I'm going to lose this fight. Whereas a better player, you know, just like if you have a pro player or whatever, they just have the insane mechanics and they kind of do both.
Yeah.
So you don't get this, like, super micro-oriented focus in these low eco situations.
And we're going to see a push. Lone Dragoon getting caught out in the open. Looks like we have a shuttle with a Zealot in it.
The Zealot drop.
The one Zealot drop.
Oh, if there are storms, though, those storms are going to be worth their weight in gold. As those Zealots and Archons run in clumping. But he can't get in there. Orange definitely has the bigger army right now.
And
We
yeah,
can see
Yellow
Orange is starting to
definitely
have
messed
the
up.
supply lead.
Yellow's starting to add probes and realizing that maybe the
No,
25
god damn it,
number-
there needs to be a battle really soon. If this game gets above 100 supply, I'm going to be pissed. I wanted to see like 40 minutes never getting to 100 supply. God damn it, somebody do something. Or
Well-
just Orange, don't macro. Don't macro
Yeah,
Orange.
Orange is supply blocks, so
Oh, there's the pylon finishing shit. It's going to get him to 98. God damn it, it's going to hit 100. Nothing's going to stop it now. No! Alright, we've got a shuttle for Orange flying across. Looks like we have 2 High Templar and a Zealot to distract the cannons.
I love this circuitous path, as if like there's, you know, like big armies or bases to avoid, you know what I mean? Like as if there's a lot to, as if there's
Plus-
something that could snipe this.
Plus, they're only making Archons and Zealots, like Archon shuttle snipes. I mean, it's one thing if you got a flag of mutas, yeah, you got to be a little careful flying over Archons, but with a
Oh,
shuttle, not so much.
I know what happened. Orange didn't have any observer technology because of the fact from way back in the game, those 2 obs were the only 2 obs he had all game, and they both got sniped, so he had to stop trying to move out. Oh, you get spotted. Let's see the reaction.
Storm's going down on a few of the probes. Archon's coming back. He should actually just storm these Archons. Well, no, they're just shields, so I guess it's not worth it unless you can storm to kill.
Oh.
So he saves both High Templar for Archon High Templar defense. I love it. I mean, but hey, you don't have Dragoons. You got to bring the Archons back, right? Oh, Yellow's going to try to take a ninja base over at the right-hand side.
Did you say Nuja Base?
Ninja base.
Oh, Ninja Base. They said Nuja Base, like the producer. That should be a cute name for a new base, Nuja Base.
Oh, he's parking the shuttle in a dangerous spot. It could
Yeah.
get sniped by an Archon or 2.
I think maybe this pylon of
This
vision
could be a
is
dangerous
giving
attack now, though, from Rutgers. Rutgers has now finally assembled a respectable army. There's even a few Dragoons mixed in. There are a shit ton of Archons, though. Definitely a lot more Archons for Yellow. So if he is not careful with his Zealots, and if he got some nice pre-storms off with a High Templar and or uses his Dragoons well for the Archons, I think this can go really well for Rutgers. But if he just runs in and clumps all the Zealots, it could get beaten off by Yellow. So here we go, and he is definitely running in with the Zealots right now. The Archons should get in there, fight the Zealots. We'll see how the storms are, though. The Archons obviously tend to clump up as they are very large units. He is storming himself a bit. It's tricky to do when you're fighting Archon versus Zealot, but it looks like, oh my god, there goes the mineral line. But it appears that Orange is just kind of over-muscling this right now. It looks like there's only an Archon left. There's a lot of Dragoons. There's a few Zealots here, and I think he's just going to muscle through this base right now, and the supply lead is getting huge for Orange, so it seems that after all of that, Orange just had a little bit of a macro advantage and is likely to just bust on through.
We have a shuttle with a Reaver coming back. I think it was intended to go harass.
Oh, if Yellow would have had that Reaver, could he have defended?
Yeah, it would have been completely different.
If we had 2 Reavers, I would say a very good chance. Just 1 Reaver? Maybe. It would have definitely changed the dynamic a bit, though.
Oh.
Except storms don't stack, so the shuttle miraculously lives. He's trying to hold this off with the shuttle, but he's got to run the shuttle away now. Reaver, get a shot off. Oh, storms the shuttle down. Reaver's still alive, though. So Yellow actually cleans this up. The problem for Yellow is that he's got 12 minerals and 7 probes, and he's down by triple supply. So Orange may not have... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Follow-up storm drop. Oh.
2 probe mining were less than the early game economy. Alright, so usually when you're at 18 supply, 28 minutes into the game, that's usually when it's time to GG. But Yellow is going to fight till the death.
I feel like yellow still has too much pride from earlier in the game when they said that orange was losing.
So our final, go ahead.
Yeah, let's see this final.
I was gonna say our final battle might just be 4 zealots against 3 zealots, 2 dragoons, and 2 templar.
Yeah, and the zealots are split though.
Oh nope! Suddenly reinforcements. Suddenly there's a bigger army from orange because orange actually has money and yellow doesn't. Yellow is probably. I think these 2 zealots are just a. No, I was gonna say I thought these 2 zealots were just gonna be a. I'm gonna run into natural and see how much shit he's got just to know how badly this game is over. And Rust Gig, yes, I would say I have time for one more game. So if you have a good rep and can PM me on TL, we could cast one more if you are interested in that.
Definitely.
That is the idea behind these casts. Oh, I thought the cannons were targeting down the Nexus as a celebration, but it turns out there was just an observer sitting over it. And at last, So Sexy says GG. So while they were a little bit edgy in their chat, it ended what seemed to be in a friendly manner.
That game.
Alright, so Rustgig is going to send me a rep. I guess you could link it in the chat or send it on TL or whatever. Just tell me here and we can cast it. But yes, that is the idea of these casts, Rustgig. It is just kind of community fun casts on Saturdays. Just casting random games from random players when I'm not hosting an invitational or worrying about CPL. Which, by the way, for those of you watching, you should go sign up for CPL if you haven't.
Yes, I will second that motion. Please sign up for CPL. I wasn't a participant in the first one, but I followed it extensively because I was around the same level. I was just very self-conscious, and I realized how much I missed out on by the time it was over because a lot of the people who played in that got so much better over the course of just one season or whatever you might want to call it, one tournament. People got so much better because when else are you going to have the opportunity to be tutored directly by a player who is always going to be better than you? It's very rare.
Real quick, just for Rustgig, you have, I don't know, a reasonable amount of time, but ideally you'd find it within like 5 minutes or something. If it's going to take you like 30 minutes to find it, it might be better for a different day, but...
how about you, LMaster? Do you have any replays that you think you might want to have casted since now you have a co-caster?
I don't even know what I've played recently. I lost a game yesterday. I mean, it's not really cast worthy because it was kind of whatever, but it was like I lost a game yesterday to One Hatch Lurker in PvZ. I beat him the first game when I played it off of like standard, but then I decided to play 2-gate against him and he did the same thing, and I was like beating him really bad, but then he did a slow Lurker drop, and it ended up doing a lot more damage than it should have. Like, I really didn't handle my zealots well. I had like 7 zealots, and I failed to clean up 2 lurkers and 2 lings with them. And it continued to go south from there.
That sounds like a lurker to me, because lurkers are just overpowered against zealots. And 1 second, because Quick Decision is asking, there is like a prize too for that CPL, isn't there? Yes, there is a prize. The prize is for the coach, the leading coach. He will get, I think, $100, you said?
50.
50, sorry. Yeah, so $50 will be handed to the coach that coached the best team. And the teams are going to be decided based off the results of a ranking tournament. Am I correct? Yes,
that will be coming up in 2 weeks. Actually, the thread is going to go up for it after the poll closes on Sunday. If you haven't voted, if you're playing League, you haven't voted, if you want Saturday or Sunday, but the ranking tournament, it's going to be the start of the next D-Ranks individual tour, but it'll also serve as the ranking tournament for CPL. So, yeah, if you have an interest in date for that Saturday or Sunday, the 26th, 27th, go vote on that in the thread if you are playing.
I'm very hyped for this, honestly. I feel like I love seeing, well, this isn't a new tournament concept, but a different tournament concept than from what we see normally. You know, like normally you see like, you know, like A rankers duking it out, or Nation League where, you know, it's mostly higher level people. But D rank tournaments were always, you know, just like a one shot. You know, I mean, like it was just one DRIT. And, you know, or one DRTL, but this is like, it feels like a combination of so many different factors, you know, good players, good players teaching bad players playing each other, ranking tournament, and then team league after that. It feels like such a complete system, so major props to LMaster for organizing this. And it looks like we got our replay.
From Art of Turtle, we sure do.
Alright, let's see it.
Also, guys, if you aren't aware, I suppose I should let you know you should go test out on IC Cup and see if you are now magically able to host, because both Jealous and I have experienced the ability to host when we have not been able to in the past. And as far as I know, IC Cup hasn't posted anything saying, hey, everybody can host, but both of us have inexplicably found ourselves able to host games.
You know what it could be? There was a time last week when the
Yeah,
IC Cup
yeah,
went down.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I think that might be it.
But that, well, actually for me, I don't know if IC Cup went down, but I definitely had the
The
website go
site
down.
went down. Yeah, the site went down.
All right, so we'll see how long this game this is. This is probably our last rep, but Art of Turtle says this is him against a B- C+ Protoss player. So spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have VCUI, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have TL's own Art of Turtle, who is a C+ Zerg player.
That's right. Well, one thing that I'm kind of OCD about is where my initial probes and drones and SCVs go. And Art of Turtle, I would give him a C-
Yeah.
for the way that he split.
He's
his drones
mining
to the-
those far pockets.
Yeah, he's mined the far pockets, and he mined the top corner and the bottom, like, outward one, I think, first for. Whereas for the Protoss, I feel like he did a good one. He did a good split, but this is going to be... Oh, no, this pylon's going to be right on time, actually. I thought... I confused his supplies for a second. So we are going to see a forward pylon, probably for Jeff E. And we have a scouting overlord going to the correct direction, but not going to find his enemy there. Protoss also scouting in the correct direction, not going to find his enemy there.
Oh, I know you. Okay, when you said correct direction, I was like, what are you talking about? They're both going not to each other, but I know what you mean.
They're
Close is
scouting
natural.
in the proper direction. And
Yeah.
look at this. This is really cute, actually. I'm not sure if this is 100% effective, considering that... okay, he is still going to scout, because I think he scouted the natural to see if the Overlord is there, assuming that the Zerg is going to scout through the natural, and now he corrected his path, leading to a slightly faster scouting path to the main of Zerg.
Yeah, it basically assumes Zerg does standard clockwise scout. You can go check that 12 o'clock
Background.
base, because the Overlord will be there right as the probe arrives, and then you can eliminate one spot from your likely pattern.
I feel like this works better on low rankers, because at the high ranks I've noticed increasingly Zergs are scouting towards their bridge and judging where the Protoss is based on scout timing.
Yeah, that's popular. And from what I believe, Bridge Scout also allows you to decide if you want to go 12 hatch or not. I could be wrong, but I think it does, because then you see that probe coming in. And of course, Art of Turtle is going for what is presumably going to be 9-pool speed. I'm not predicting a 9-pool layer type build out of Art of Turtle.
And yeah, there we go. We pulled the
Yeah.
drones off of the gas. We definitely see speed coming. And the next one is going to be a drone. So it's just going to be 6 lings, but looking scary, because this is one of the things that can scare Protoss is you see constant link production, and we do have 2 cannons coming up from the Protoss. I like this response.
And of course, one of the popular ways to do this as well, may or may not be what he tries to do, but the initial lings, you know, if the Protoss throws up 2 cannons, aren't going to do a whole lot most of the time. But then you make another 3 pairs of lings, and when your speed comes, you come with 12 lings and run by. And that can usually be quite devastating if Protoss isn't really solid up and blocking. In fact, if you don't have a good wall, a lot of times you need to have 3 cannons. Now, this is a pretty great walling position on Fighting Spirit, but...
Yeah, long distance, and the probe is still alive, so he knows that it's not coming. He sees the hatchery going down, so he knows that most likely no more lings are going to come. Oh, probe gets stuck, nope.
But still gets in main. Speed should be kicking in here quite soon, right about now.
Yep.
So now the probe is going to get tapped in the butt until he dies.
And we do actually see more lings coming out now. And let's see, the lings run out, that's good. Maybe he should be able to judge this by drone count alone. I mean, it's a little bit hard, it's a little bit demanding, but he should see that, like, he didn't get, 3 extra drones. He just got, yeah.
And this gets extra annoying for Protoss too, because when you have 12 speedlings on the map, it is next to impossible to get a probe out. I mean, you can even try to move out once you get like 3 zealots and poke out, but because the lings are so fast, he still usually gets the probe, so it's just, you kind of have to play reactively and just sort of prepare.
I'm really anal about my scouting as Protoss. Oh,
he's going for the run through. This is exactly what I was talking about. See, 2 cannons does not stop that. And sometimes even if you have a probe or 2 at the gateways, if the lings attack it efficiently, it goes bad. Oh, he's going to go straight for the Nexus, and he does have a lot of lings. I think he can get the Nexus too. I really do. There's only a Zealot out right now, and that Zealot by itself is not going to be able to micro. We'll see how the control is from the probes, though. Can he buy enough time? Lings are definitely going to start doing some damage. Probe control right now is quite good from Protoss. Art of Turtle does lose a ling. But the Zealot is getting surrounded right now. Let's see how Art of Turtle's Ling Micro is. Can he pull them back from that Zealot? Now he's going to go back to the Nexus. Maybe he's going to buy enough time to save his Nexus. Oh, a little sloppy there, losing a Ling from Art of Turtle. And it's just like...
He says, just kill the cannons, what? But I would not... I don't think that that's necessarily true.
Yeah, with 12 Lings, especially because you only have the one hatchery. Like, if you had 3 hatcheries, sure, kill the cannons, spam Lings, and win. But in this situation... I mean, it could certainly pay off too, but...
Well, the question is, like, you're not going to be able to do much damage after you kill the 2 cannons with 12 Lings. You know, he's going to get Zealots out, his Croak count is going to be high enough, and you're not going to be able to distract mining for nearly as long. And we do see that Art of Turtle does get a 3rd base up behind.
I feel like Art of Turtle can still get this Nexus. Protoss, I feel like Protoss maybe isn't taking this seriously enough, but maybe Art of Turtle's giving up the idea. But the Nexus only has 200 or 300 HP left, and Protoss is kind of leaving a Zealot out, although Art of Turtle is not microing these Lings, getting complete surrounds. Now he's going back to that Nexus. This is going to be agonizing. I feel like if Art of Turtle... There's been a lot of points, I don't know if you saw that, where the Zealots were a bit away from... Oh, no!
Ooh, both get sniped,
that's got to be the
now,
Nexus now.
God.
That's got to be the Nexus.
Oh, let's see this probe drill.
Oh, no, Art of Turtle is going to maybe mess it up. He didn't pull the Lings quick enough. Oh, this is so intense.
Oh,
oh my gosh, Art of Turtle can definitely get this. He can definitely just run in with little pokes and get this, but will he have the patience and will he pull it off? Oh, this is going to be such a bummer if he doesn't get it. All right, he's got another chance. Protoss is having to pull so many probes. Oh, come on, Art of Turtle. Come on, you can totally get this Nexus. Don't let me down, bro. Don't let me down.
Oh.
No. Oh, okay. I've just got to root for this.
Actually, I don't like this gateway position because Lynx can get behind it, but Zealots can't, I think. Oh, no, they can.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
actually,
I think they can.
Good.
Oh, he needs like... No, Art Turtle. No. Okay.
IOPQ is saying that if you kill the cannons and the pylon, the game is over. I really don't agree with that. I still feel like...
Yeah.
I've
defended that. And you know, especially with just one hatch, you know, you can reestablish yourself. I don't think Art Turtle's gonna get it now.
The best thing about this Nexus though is that, like, the first Mutalisk harass doesn't have to worry about cannons or Corsairs or anything. All it has to do is fly in once and fire off 2 shots, and they've
Wait! Oh yes, he gets it. Protoss, in a moment, in a lack of focus, he loses the main Nexus.
Oh god. Oh, but he rebuilds it right away, but that's still going to be very tragic. And we've been focusing so much. Let's look at what Art of Turtle is doing. He's getting his Hydra Den up. He's getting 4 hatch. His 5th hatch should be coming soon, I'm suspecting. I don't know why he's committed to this sunken in his 3rd base so early.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just worried, like, why is microing Lings, the Zealot or 2 would walk out. Sort of the, I'm not a 400 APM Zerg. You know, so if I'm gonna micro the shit out of these Lings to kill this Nexus, I know that something might walk into my 3rd, and I want to know about it.
And first Corsair is out. Hydra Den is done.
5th hatch.
First Hydrolith is out. 5th hatch is down. Good.
Does he have Scourge out? Otherwise, because if he does, the Corsair is gonna get messed up. Two Zealots, 3 Zealots coming around the map. Creep going down at the natural though. Sunken going down at the natural. So I don't think these Zealots will be able to do too much. And a pair of Scourger out to chase away the Corsair. So tech timing's coming out pretty normal for both players.
Yeah, I would say that Art of Turtle's in a commanding position right now. You know, a 1-base Protoss with a sniped Nexus that lost so much mining time against 5 hatch. I would be really surprised if Art of Turtle doesn't pull ahead really far here.
You know, the one nice thing, I guess, you know, for Protoss is that he did shoot, lost my train of thought for a second. As we see the micro of these 3 Zealots, this is awfully aggressive from Protoss. Can he even get a Hydra? He's gonna get 1 Hydra out of this. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Drones.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
he finally gets it in the end.
One Hydra for lost mining time and 3 Zealots is... I'm sorry, 1 Hydra and lost mining time for 3 Zealots is not a good trade in my opinion.
Yeah.
You've completely devastated any early aggressive options you have. When you're working off of 1 gateway, you can't throw away those early Zealots. Well, now it's 2, but still. And now Protoss going up to 3 gateway, no Templar tech yet. He's getting +1 air. Oh, he canceled the +1 air.
And Art of Turtle behind this has worked his way up to a solid economy now. He's on 35 drones, which is a good, healthy 3-base mid-game Zerg economy.
Actually, Protoss did get the +1. It finished. He got that really early. I feel like.
No, he doesn't have +1 yet. You mean
+1 air?
Oh, air. Sorry, I thought you meant armor. It looks like his +1 armor is going to get denied. Slow lots aren't going to do anything. And of course, unfortunately, this is one thing I don't like when Protoss do. He made his cannons a row back, so you can see how easily Art of Turtle can now snipe this forge. You can just right-click snipe it. Oh, he actually wants to bust this. So he's going in here. He's going to get one cannon. Oh, but he switches the other cannon too soon, takes a bit of damage. Now he's going to move back against those zealots. And he is really going to be aggressive against this.
Wow.
He may have a chance to go in here. I think he should just right-click the forge, finish that before the +1 goes, and then go in and snipe the cannons when the whole wall is down. Yeah, he's going to deny the +1.
Timing, though, if he doesn't bring that 4th Hydra up, can he get it off? Oh,
it's going to be close. Oh, no. It's going to save the +1 because he's not going to target the forge down, and the speed is done, but the lurkers are morphing. Oh, that's why he was being so aggressive, because he wanted to end the game with the lurkers.
I feel like the quick decision says he doesn't understand the cannon placement. I feel like the cannon placement was specifically for the Ling run by, so he could block the ramp, but he never blocked the ramp, so
yeah.
He kind of did neither. You know what I mean? Like he went for a smart idea, but didn't go all the way through with it.
Yep.
And now this is probably my least favorite situation in the game ever.
This is actually a situation I'm very comfortable with.
I hate this.
Not when I'm not necessarily. Oh, but our turtle just wants to win. This is aggressive. He's going to move his lurkers right in here. He's going for the cannons. He wants to get onto that natural nexus. Now there are 2 fallback cannons, but he could definitely reposition his lurkers to attack at the very least the bottom left mining probes, which would be very frustrating for him. Although, is this aggression gonna pay off for him? I don't know. The cannons are in range. You can see the lurkers. Now he's gonna deny the cannon. No, he's just gonna keep coming in here. He may very well shut down the natural at this point. This is going better for him than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's GG. So some cute micro to use a relatively small of hydras. I mean, he took care. He got through 4 or 5 cannons with a small group of hydras and used the lurkers to finish it off.
I feel like this decision by Art of Turtle definitely proved wrong the naysayers saying that sniping the cannons would have been the optimal choice. I definitely feel like the delay in mining time, the snipe of the Nexus, definitely proved itself to be the far superior choice in what you target with those first 12 lanes.
Yeah, that was honestly, like, when he first went through for it, I was like, this will be interesting. And then I thought for sure he was going to get it. And then he sort of got a great probe drill, and then he had less, and it was just like back and forth. And then I thought for sure he was going to save it, and right when the cannon was almost done, Protoss had a moment of like probably thinking the same thing I did. He's like, okay, my Nexus is all right. And then Art of Turtle right-clicked it, and it was not a quick enough response.
IOPQ said this was a bad game. IOPQ definitely not an Art of Turtle fan, apparently. He did not like the decision making there. So that was a quick one. You said you might want to do one more.
If we have one more good game, let's see. It looks like Rustgig has sent us one last rep. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the title is probably a giveaway of what happens in this game. How do I download? Free user, slower download.
Yeah, IOPQ said, I mean, make 2 cannons against 12 lings and no pro block. Yeah, that was definitely
no pro block. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm sorry. If you're playing a 9 pool speed person and you are not pro blocking with 2 cannons, I honestly don't know what was going through Protoss's head with that decision making.
Yeah.
Because that's just, yeah, you're asking to get owned.
I think it's because he suspected it was still only 6 lings, because he didn't see the extra lings come out and he didn't count the drones in the main base.
Alright, so this will for sure be our last game of the day, but we will cast whatever happens in this. I don't know if you guys could see the name of the game. If you did, you have an idea of what we might be seeing. If you didn't, all the better.
I did not, so I'm going to be completely in the dark, so that'll be better. I'll probably be very hyped.
Alright, so spawning in the top right hand corner as our brown Zerg, we have TOT Naugrim, an very old school player. TOT players, though, were certainly good back in their day. And in the bottom right hand corner, we have Sweden's Rushgig. I don't actually know how good Rushgig is. I don't know if he's... I actually don't have any idea.
Oh, I LPQ on my Twitch said 1v1 anyone. He's calling out viewers on a stream for 1v1 right now.
Ban this sick filth.
Bad manner as hell.
I will steal your viewers, bad. Not only do I want to beat you to C+, I will also take all your viewers as I do it.
And looks like we are gonna see a forward nexus. This is like the new school placement, right? That's what a lot of people like Free and Beast, they're doing this placement now as opposed to the pylon in the back.
Wait, why? I don't
feel
know.
like it's 'cause it's a fatter wall at the front, I'm guessing. And
It is, but I just hate having walls with those leaks. Plus, you can put a core in that wall, and you can put a core back in a way that it's pretty good. Like, the core's not easily sniped, and it tightens that wall if you really need to narrow it.
well, I mean, depending on where the forge and gateway go, I feel like another advantage of this, you can have a forward row of cannons, maybe. So you can have like a forward and a
Yeah,
backward
maybe
row.
it allows for more cannons. That could be.
Yeah.
I'll have to consider this. Play
Because
around
I
with it maybe
definitely
in the
see-
map editor.
Yeah, the game that I sent you the other day, Free does the same exact placement, I believe. So, I mean, if Free does it, then I have to trust it, you know, because Free's really good.
He's better than I am.
Yeah, Free's not free, let's put it that way. And we do see, this was a overpull, I feel.
Yes, it
No
was.
gas, and the drone, really sneaky, goes around the probe, I like that a lot, and he is going to get the hatchery down with, yeah, he is. And the probe is going to see the hatchery, sees overpull, makes one cannon, and
He's like, oh, you tricked me, Imba.
Imba.
Imba
Yeah.
skills.
Yeah, the hatchery Imba. It's been known for a while.
And no Brood War Revival, I was never a Terran user. I main Protoss initially, now I am in the process of learning Zerg. And from there, I will either decide to try to get to B- with Zerg, or B- with Protoss, or possibly get to C with Terran, just to be like solid with all three races.
Okay, so look at this probe. I think it's really cute. It's following this drone out. Instead of scouting the main base, it's gonna try to deny this third
But
base,
it's got
which
two
is-
lings chasing it, so it's kind of... Unless you're just gonna... Well, even if you pylon, though, like, it's just not worth it when there's lings.
Well, actually, two lings can't snipe a pylon before it comes up fully.
No, but they'll take it down pretty quick.
I mean, you just cancel it. You don't actually keep it there. You build it.
Oh, I
And
see what
the
you're
two-
saying.
And the two lings can't. And he
Gets
does
it
not
down.
stop the third hatch, but he sees where it is. He knows where it is, and the probe stays alive. He's going to continue scouting. And Zerg, meanwhile, has just gotten his gas started up. Protoss went Nexus Gateway after one cannon. That's good. So shaping up pretty standard overall, I would say. Seems like a very standard game so far, as opposed to any of the other ones we've seen today. Cybernetics car timing is good. I think he actually saved 300 minerals to get Cybernetics and his first zealot at the same time. Ruskig once again claims Imba against the...
Is it ramp block?
Yeah, it was a one drone ramp block.
A little bit of a scouting block, yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. And I don't like the fact that you just gave up on it. I would just stay there to force the drone to stay there, you know what I mean? Like, I would run around that ramp over and over and over again. Because I mean, he can select it with an overlord and tell him to hold position, but it still forces mining loss from the Zerg player. And we do see a layer coming up for the Zerg. Do we see a second gas? No second gas. That usually means lurker, I believe, right? So
Just one gas. That's just usually it looks like the usual 3-hat spire. Or does he have Hydroden that I missed?
no, not Hydrodon. You're right.
Yeah, just looking like
I
standard.
thought you got your second gas earlier when you go.
No, you don't get second gas usually until I think after you have 5th hatch.
Really?
Yeah, because you just don't need it if you're just gonna make a few scourge and hatch up. Uh-oh, he's losing a drone.
Yeah, one lane,
The
one drone.
zealot. Well, yeah, one ling. Make it two
lane,
lings.
one drone. That's
Zealot
perfect.
pays for it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect exchange, especially since the early drones are so important for Zerg. Because the Zerg drone economy mathematics, like according to what I read on Team Liquid, is like it's anal as hell, for lack of a better word. Like you need exactly 27 drones to do a 3-hatch Hydra bust or something like that, or 21. You need 6 on gas and 15 on minerals in order to fund a 3-hatch muta or some crap. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Protoss and Terran don't have such exact mechanics for the amount of rooms that we have.
Yeah, I noticed that pretty significantly in my learning Zerg right now. Like ZVTs, anytime I'm disrupted, it's like I can't get out any muta for shit. It feels like I'm getting out like 6 instead of like 9 and having the money. It's like, the whole game feels off from there.
And so the Zealot actually came into the third base, killed a drone, and he went to the back to try to do that, you know, like, I'm going to put myself in the pocket so you can't surround me. And the Brown Zerg did a really cute bit of micro where you pull back the injured Zergling, the one that's being attacked, and then and then he gives it right back to the Protoss by running into cannons.
And we have a Corsair out right now. Pretty typical stuff though, usual timing. Just taking a look at Zerg's base. Gonna go ahead and get an Overlord here. Usually can get one before the Spire is up, but we can see the Spire timing is nice. Yeah, so Scourge are on that way, so he will just get that one Overlord, and then he's gonna have to book it back home and be careful. And now Grim is gonna take a back base, so we're gonna see some 4-base play here.
I'm curious what Ruskig means in Swedish, because it sounds like he's saying Russian, you know, like
yeah,
Ruski.
Yeah. Now he's
from Sweden.
Now you'll probably see Zerg take his third gas or second gas reasonably soon here.
And this Overlord might actually die, but actually no, Scourge are coming for it, and Scourge are going to the natural of the Protoss as well. Probably going to get a little scout off, see what's going on in the main. In the main, we do have a cannon and another Corsair there, so that's really nice. This Overlord might actually get sniped before the Scourge get there. The Scourge are coming. Is it gonna get sniped? Is it gonna get sniped? Oh, it gets sniped.
But does he save the course? Oh, okay, he's got a chance to. Oh, nice. That was very relaxed control too. But he messes that up. Oh no, he's gonna lose both now. He's gonna lose both. Oh, it went from being pretty nice to bad. Ruskig says it means like terrifying, among other things. It has different meanings.
IOPQ said Rotsig means Norway in Swedish, but that's close, but not it. So terrifying. I like that. That's a good name. But you know how have you read that thread about, like, you know, what makes a good online name? You know, like, you know, you have to be like Tampon Zerg or Africa Zerg or whatever, right?
I feel like I've seen it, but haven't like looked at it in depth.
Yeah. So Sweden 1. So like number 1, terrifying. That sounds like a dope name. Like you inspire fear in others. So definite points for him.
So I would have to say so far, I'd say this game is like at absolute worst. It's like at sea level, but it could easily be better. But everything just looks pretty tight, pretty normal, you know.
I would say it's higher. I would say it's at least B rank, just because of the control of both players, the confidence with which the first few Zealots went out there. You don't see sea level players sending out like their first 2 Zealots on their lonesome trying to control something.
Every once in a while, I see some hyper aggressive motherfuckers that do that kind of stuff, and I'm usually annoyed by them.
I don't really like this wall from the Zerg at the main. Actually, no, it's still bad. The wall at the third is significantly better than the wall in his natural. It feels like he kind of like missed a spot or something, you know?
Yeah, Rusky, I'm just going off like what we're seeing from the play style. Like, I know that now Grim is, you know, a high ranked player, but I'm just talking about watching the game itself.
So we do have Mutalisk coming out. IOPQ says now Grim has 2 spores. Now Grim is a noob. So I'm not sure that that's a very fair assessment.
The A rank newbies terrorizing the world.
Yeah.
Since 2002 or whenever.
Brought to you by your local C- Zerg IOPQ. Let's see. We do have the mutas out. I think we have 1, 2, 3 here. We have 7 mutas out.
Oh, this is gonna be pretty annoying. He's only got 1 Corsair. He's only got 1 cannon in the main. He has made an Archon though.
Yeah. I feel like this is a reaction to the fact that he sniped the first 2 Sarah. This is definitely a good choice, I feel, but he's not moving out with them, which now he is. I feel like he wanted to gather up a few more, but no. It actually looks like
DT doesn't see him. DT doesn't see him, so the meters aren't scouted. Third base going up right now for Ruskig.
I'm always puzzled how Protoss get these third bases so quickly. You know, like for me, it feels like I never can get my third base this fast.
Yeah, and especially since he hasn't like looked to see, oh, Zerg is taking a fast 4th base and just doing nothing but drones. You know, he only did that initial look. Yeah.
And 1 storm.
But wonderful harassment opportunities here. So Nalgrim is just going to go to work on these mineral lines right now, and Archon is trying to get its way into position, but is not there. Storm goes. Oh, Nalgrim flying the.
He flies right back into it.
That was really interesting because he was actively microing. Like that was almost a choice, or just totally caught him by surprise, and he just like froze up for a second.
I feel like maybe maybe you kind of get into some sort of rhythm, right? And it's hard to break. Like
yeah, sometimes it is.
He probably harassed thousands of mineral lines in the past like 10 years or something like that, right? So he always has like a predetermined pattern of how he does it. It's like in out while moving up. So like he was just following the pattern. He wasn't even thinking about the storm, I think.
All right, so that is a pretty nice break from Rusgig because now that eliminates the Muta Templar sniping ability and just the general threat of Mutas, and of course responding to this immediately, Rusgig moving out onto the map, although Nalgrim has gone ahead and produced a few more Mutalisks.
And he has 4 Zealots in the main. He just dropped off, actually, also.
Oh, yeah, he's unloading with the shuttle. So this is going to be a double attack. We'll see if Nalgrim notices as it happens. But the wall is pretty solid. The Muta they haven't noticed. All right, the Spire is going down, and it's going to stop his Carapace, which is going to be very nice for him. And Rusgig is going to charge at this wall. This seems pretty aggressive, as there are 4 Sunkens here. This is a very small army, although the Storms are killing a ton of shit, and then he does back out.
That was a perfect idea right here. He got the best of both engagements because he forced the Mutalisks to go back to snipe the Zealots. And then as soon as the Mutalisks go back, he knew that the Mutalisks would go back. He busted the front a little bit and stormed a lot of drones, a lot of Hydralisks, and then he keeps his army and still sniped the Spire. So that was a win-win, I feel like. Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty aggressive with the Mutalisks. Templar are out of energy to storm, and he's going to snipe them off. And now the Mutalisks do have to run away.
So now Grim says something. He's like, hey, you know what? Like you got that. I gave you that one, but I'm gonna take something too.
Now Grim does find the one hidden Zealot in the bottom of the base. Picks that off with his Mutalisks.
Yeah, I would say, looking at this now, I would say that this is definitely a decently high level game now.
Right.
Like just based on the decision making and the prediction of your opponent's movements and stuff like that.
Nalgrim also has a really nice economy right now. He's at a solid 60 drones, bunch of Hatzers, so he is going to be powering like crazy here soon.
Yeah, it's 60 to 60 actually, so it's even economies. Generally that favors Zerg, I believe. And let's see, we're going to get some more Muta harassment here. Nalgrim realizes that nothing has changed. There's not any more Corsairs up, so I can get some more probes out of this. Good. 3, 4, 5. Actually, that was 6 because he double shot one of them. Like one of them died just from the bounce.
Yeah, he just brought down the probe count by like 10 probes.
And
I'm
surprised that there's no lurkers out yet.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that too. There's a couple. There's a couple. No, never mind. I thought there were some in the main. Or in the second main, but there weren't.
His Hydra's actually not fully upgraded yet. He's just now getting range.
Is he? Uh-oh, that could be a little scary if Protoss attacks at this timing. Especially if he doesn't realize it and tries to fight. His Hydra going to be awfully ineffective. Going to have to get in there really close to the Dragoons. Oh, Mutalisk doing a little more harass, but gets off a partial storm that does some damage to him. Templar's going to live, though. And he's going to go hang out the cannons. Now, will the Mutas try to pick off any of these probes? Oh my god, that was suicidal. What was that decision? Oh, he wanted the Templar, and he sacrificed all the Muta to get that Templar.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense to me if he had Hydralisks like right outside.
Yeah, exactly.
But he doesn't. He just now got range, and I feel like if Protoss knew that the Hydras were unranged earlier, unupgraded in the natural, like he would have been a little bit more confident moving in.
Muta going in for a snipe. They're gonna get at least one. Will they get more? I don't know. There is a Corsair there, but just 2. One. Does pick off one of the Templar.
I would say that this is a beautiful example of like a super textbook ZVP.
Yeah, this is really textbook Muta play. Does he have Reavers already? No, he's just got a shuttle. He's possibly going to drop while he attacks. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Alright, so here we go. Protoss moving back. Actually, this is a good place for Protoss to fight now. The Mutas are actually going to shut down the drop, but good storms going down on the Hydralisk here. And the Mutas too determined to chase the shuttle. Now he's trying to flank with the Hydra, but Where are the storms? I guess there's just not enough number. That is going to be a very nice storm. They're killing a bunch of Hydra. Army kind of getting divided up, but Ruskig doing a pretty good job keeping it controlled and together, but there are Hydra streaming in from all directions, and a great storm as Nalgrim is microing the Hydra on the bottom and the storm on top, killing all of them as they bunch up, but still going to trade relatively even for the moment. Now there's kind of this brief lull as more Hydra. It looks like Nalgrim does want to press the issue. He's feeling confident with his Hydra, but probably one of these Templar have enough energy to storm. Actually, no, they don't. So now the Hydras are going to come out, and without the storm, Ruskig is definitely going to have to run away, and now Nalgrim is going to clean up the rest of that army, and it's going to end up being a little bit favorable of an engagement for Nalgrim.
Yeah, I would say that everything was going really well for Ruskig up until the fact that he decided to park his army out there with no Templar with energy. But we do see a drop right now. It's 1 DT drop. I think the shuttle did get sniped right after dropping, but this DT is going to kill a few drones, 2 drones. Sees that it's Hiva, defiler tech up.
If Ruskig was only on 3 bases right now, this would be really unpleasant, but the fact that he has a 4th is pretty nice.
Yeah. Also, it's worth noting that the Zerg is not upgrading right now. He has 2 Evo chambers, neither of them upgrading, and he's at 1 carapace, 2 range attack, whereas Kronos is already on +3 attack. And
I love that Ruskig has decided to double gate his 4th base, because that makes it really annoying to try to break. Nalgrim definitely wants to push the issue, but there are Templar here and a Reaver. Storm goes down. Actually, that is a pretty darn good storm, softening up most of those Hydra. He really wants to assassinate the Reaver, and the Reaver didn't have Scarabs built, so he will get it, but the Hydra are going to get cleaned up, and the army is now back in position.
There's just not enough Hydras after the Reaver shot in the storm.
Yeah, especially with the army arriving. Will he get that last cannon? Nope. So it gets that cleaned up.
I want to bring the attention back to one thing that I feel like Ruskig did really well, is the fact that he brought the shuttle with his attack. So his shuttle, it wanted to go drop, but he decided it doesn't, so he brought the Templar back and used it to win the game.
Just want to pause that. Yeah.
The army split, right? That's what you're looking at.
Yeah, that was such a nervy moment. Like, I'm always really scary about doing that kind of stuff in ZVP, because if you get flanked and half of your army is just like on the... Oh, man, that was scary for me.
That's instant GG, really. If you lose half your army like that, like...
And if it gets flanked, it is just straight up fucked, especially up against the cliff like that.
I really don't understand why he sent the army up there in the first place. It was too much to scout, and he put himself way out of position. Now this 4th base is going to be in a lot of trouble, even with the Reaver there.
Yeah, there's no Templar here, so I don't think Ruskig... Well, Ruskig does have some army coming in from the other side, and Nalgrim is not sending all of his forces, so he might just be able to muscle it down, but probably the 4th base can go down, but it looks like Nalgrim wants to return here and fight on top of his lurkers, but they have all been picked up. Good target firing. Some Hydra now shooting the Nexus. He's bringing 2 Reavers in, though, that might just be what it needs to defend the Nexus. And yeah, he's going to hold it.
I did like the decision making, though, in the sense that he left some Hydralisks next to the Nexus, which killed a lot of probes, because these are probes that came with the transfer. And instead of, I feel like the probes were much more valuable than the Nexus was in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely.
He split his Hydralisk. He sent some to fight and stall the army, and then some were left behind to kill probes, and Ruskig responding accordingly, making more probes at that base at least.
Definitely a nice game in terms of the level we're seeing here. You know, in addition to some pretty good decisions, you know, when you've got players microing Reavers and their money is staying down at reasonable levels, you know, we're talking, you know, blue ranks at least. The Orange made a slight mistake here. He left both of his Reavers out in front of the Gateway Forge and Cannon. Yeah, so that was a little bit sloppy. They did get some good Scarabs, but still, you don't ever really want to just lose the Reavers. A few Storms going down here. Hydra trying to get some snipes off, but not really able to do it.
And if we look at the supplies, it looks like the Zerg is actually a little bit ahead. I would like to see a 5th base come really soon for this Zerg.
Plague almost done. Consume presumably done. But where are the defilers themselves?
And is he going to split his army again? Is he going to split his army? Because this is already kind of split.
Oh no, the shuttle. Okay. Yeah. The Hydra scare the shuttle back to the army. That's an awkward place for Protoss. He's just hugging the wall. He needs to move his army. There we go.
This army is kind of too small to be out in the field like this. Like, this is a really risky... Like, it's one control group of Protoss stuff and 1 shuttle with 2 Reavers. Like, that could definitely get flanked and destroyed really quickly. Especially looking at the army of Zerg on the field right now, this could go very badly for Protoss. But now we got some resupplying zealots, so it's evening out a little bit. Zerg takes a weird position right here, and let's see how these Reaver shots go. Will the Reaver derp? will the Reaver even shoot?
Probably not here out in the open. It'll probably shoot okay.
I don't know, man. You can be surprised, man. I've seen something
Oh,
worse.
nice ob snipe. Hydra coming in. This is pretty aggressive trying to get these Reavers. He might get one, but oh, there's a plague though. And now the shuttle picks up. Shuttle redrops. Those Hydra are not being worth it, other than perhaps forcing a few zealots to run into lurker spines, but that's not that great of a consolation prize.
Yeah, I don't think that it was worth the plague.
Where's the storms though? Need the storms, man. You can storm those. It's worth it. All right, now we got Dark Swarm up.
I think these observers have,
Oh, those were really good storms though.
yeah, I feel like this observer has range, sight range, because it saw the lurker that was all the way really far away.
Yeah, it might. Uh-oh. Cracklings. Alright, he's gonna have to back off though. And Ruskig has broken up this position at the front main of Zerg, but he certainly doesn't have enough units to try to bust across, and he also doesn't feel comfortable, I guess, running up and checking the 12 o'clock, which is probably the biggest issue right now for Naugrim, or for Ruskig, is that Zerg is getting that 5th base, and also trying to take the 6th base.
I think that's gonna get scouted soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, the probe's there. Actually, he's going to try to cannon it, maybe. Either he's scouting it and he's going to cannon it, or he just wants that base and he's going to cannon it because he wants that base.
Preemptive, but I think he saw it actually. If you look at the army movement, I
Yeah.
do feel like this 12 o'clock was really late for the Zerg. Because if you look at the supplies now, suddenly Ruskig jumped up, 60 supply, and...
Alright, so we have Naugrim loading up for a really large drop here. A lot of lurkers. So we'll see what he intends to do with this. This is something I've found as Zerg, like, as Protoss drops just feel devastating, but like Zerg, sometimes when you get to these states, it feels like it's hard to actually find a way to drop the Protoss without running into a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's true. Especially now that these cannons are coming up here.
Actually, we're going to have double drops. Naugrim is also dropping along the right side of the map right now, so we're going to have a major drop into Protoss's main. Actually, this is not a major drop, but it is a drop, an annoying, distracting drop into Protoss's main.
Yeah. I would love to see the other drop be going out right now as well. That would be ideal.
Probably will, but it looks like he's not doing it.
Entire army for 12 wins.
Now it's going now. A few zealots running in, threatening Protoss army, unable to snipe a Templar. It looks like Zerg is not going to micro this drop in the main, so he's not going to get much out of that other than the one gateway. But he's running down. He's dropping a few lurkers here on top of this base, and then he's going to head the rest of them to the 3rd, so he's going to deny the base going up, and then drop some stuff into Ruskig's 3rd or 5th.
Oh, and Protoss' reaction is so late. He still had his whole army taking off 4 lings. So, but there are 2 Reavers, 2 Templar here. This is actually a really solid amount of defense.
Solid defense, and he doesn't have his full drop with him. If he would have had all those lurkers and everything, including the 4 overlords, he would have landed at the other base. Might go differently, but now it's going to be a pretty easy cleanup here for Ruskig.
I actually don't know if the lurkers would have helped too much because there are cannons, Templar, and 3 Reavers here. So I feel like maybe he actually did himself a favor saving those lurkers, not having them overcommitted for this drop. But now we see the Protoss moving out, splitting his army in the center again. And I think he realized it, decided like, nah, maybe I shouldn't do that.
And a bunch of lurkers being morphed at the natural. And, oh, is he going to snipe the Defiler? Nope. Plague it.
I think he's looking for the
main group.
Oh,
doesn't find it. Gets a plague off, but doesn't find really the key group.
And I would say Protoss is looking like he's in a decent lead right now.
I
mean, he's
5 base against 5. Comfortable position for Protoss.
Yeah.
And he's established, it's not like he's 5 base against 5, but like he's got bases going up and Zerg everywhere, he's well established.
Actually, if you look at the map, Zerg actually already mined out 3 of his 5 bases. Like, those bases went by really quick. I feel like the drone count maybe wasn't distributed properly, or he was on the 4 bases for too long. But I don't think Zerg should be mining out 3
Yeah, that's interesting. He's actually mined out faster than Protoss. Alright, so Ruskig is going to put a lot into denying this here. This is brave. He is actually flanking and surrounding the lurkers with zealots, but will it be enough to break through this? It looks like just barely, thanks to the beefy weight of Archons. And now the rest of the army joining, but will he get flanked out? It looks like the answer is no. Some Lings coming in here. Back off. Oh, look at this surround. He needs to throw down storms, but he's not doing it. He's not getting the storms. All right, now he notices. He's able to save one of the Templar.
There's still more storm. Oh, self-storm. 2 storms. That was. I would say that was actually pretty poor storm management there. He actually did a lot here. There's still way too many storms left.
Now the storms are doing serious damage to these lurkers, though. running down the ramp, trying to clean them up. I hope they're softened up if he's going to try this, because he needs to kill them fast before the lings start to arrive.
And he actually still has 7 storms available.
Those were some nice storms. He made up for his poor storming with some really good ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. But now we have Ultra coming out.
Still though, there are four or five Archons here, so by themselves, not going to be that scary now. With Lurker support, that changes the story quite a bit.
Yo, one thing I really don't like about this game so far from Zerg is the upgrades. He should be on 3-3 by now, but he's not even started 3-3.
Oh yeah, just 2-2. Oh, we got a Dark Archon going down for Protoss. Some feedbacking. Oh, but he's going to lose it. Oh! Somehow he messes up the surround. No, the Dark Archon lives.
Dark Archons are really slippery. I have noticed this playing with them. They're super slippery somehow.
That's interesting.
You just can't get them. I feel like there might be something to the fact that, you know how when you're like, let's say making a map or a map editor and you place down an Archon or a Darkon, they actually look like they're only taking up a 1 unit, like a Zealot-sized hole. So maybe they look a lot bigger than their actual body is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that outwards cloud might be not a physical thing.
Oh, now we're gonna go turn our attention to blocking Zerg from getting a 6 base, but that is a pretty ridiculously sweet lurker field right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he handles it.
We have 2 Dark Archons now.
Alright, sending an initial Archon or 2 up here, gonna try to bust up the initial lurkers at the front, but there are a lot of lings going in for a surround, quickly getting that Archon nicely.
Yeah,
I don't think Protoss will get up.
Gotta give a quick shout out to Ruskig because he's like teaching me how to play Protoss by giving us this replay, because I wouldn't know what to do about that uphill position even without sunken spore and whatever. Like I would never be even trying to move up there, and he managed to do a little bit of damage there. But now we see the denial of the base on the other side of the map. These 3 Archons are gonna go down. Cannons are gonna go down. It's nice swarm. Wow. And now we're moving into that dreaded Zerg late game, Crackling Ultra. And the Reavers are moving up unassisted. Actually, there's 2 Templar and a Zealot here. I'm not sure if it's worth. This Plague would be so juicy right now. Oh,
There's still another Defiler there though, and I think he's coming down to Plague right now. He's consuming.
See it.
He gets the Plague.
Nice Plague. And these Dark Archons not making it in time to
Yeah. Oh, the Reaver getting the Lurker from behind. That's a nice way to clean it up. And now the Zealots are going to come up here. Of course, Zealots get really shitty against Ultralisks.
Yeah, that's because of the armor.
Yeah.
Zealots do 2 attacks at a time.
They get to where Zealots do what, 2 or 3 damage per hit, which is just nothing when you're fighting something with 400 HP or whatever the fucking Ultra has.
I mean, plus 3 Zealots do 22, so that's 11 per hand, right? And the Ultralisk armor gets to 5, so I think they do 6. No. Yeah, 11 minus... Yeah, 6 and 6, they do 12 damage, I think. Actually, which is actually not as terrible as I thought, but... Definitely feels terrible when you're on that side.
But they do it in 2 hits, right? Whoa, all of a sudden we see like 7 scouts. What? All right then. Unexpected surprise scouts.
Is this a BM? Is this prove to be fatal?
Scouts versus Ultras. I actually have no idea how this works out. Archon's morphing on the ramp, but Zerglings are surrounding them. He has to storm his own Archons that are morphing, which will probably kill them. And 1 Archon does finish though. He can hold the ramp with that for a little bit.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Scouts are the ones that only do like 3 damage.
Yeah, I can't see Scouts doing shit against Ultras.
Yeah, because it's 8 damage for a shot and 5 armor, so that's really bad. But look at this, they're actually really puzzled. These Scouts are actually getting a good amount of hits off.
So yeah, I guess it's gonna be interesting to see. These Ultras don't even know what to do. They're like, why are there Scouts?
I think they're trying to attack the Templar that's trapped between the gateways. So they were like, I want him, and then they just couldn't get to him. And let's see. Both players keeping their money really low. I like that a lot, by the way, this game.
Yeah.
They're both managing really well, but Scouts are denying the right base. Wow, this is some 2016 new meta, like Scouts to deny the heavily lurkered up 6th base of Zerg.
But Protoss is also going to get his base denied. Meanwhile, the Scouts are taking care of the Sunken Spore lurker field pretty easily, although Ruskig's saying he feels like it rapes Sunk Spore Lurk, which I guess feels true. But at the same time, it seems like Zerg can just pretty easily switch to Hydra spam, and I don't see how Scouts can be effective against that.
Oh, this micro.
Yeah, Scouts micro so nicely against Scourge. If you haven't done that, like Scout versus Scourge is like the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, now here come all the Hydras, which pretty much instantly deny the Scouts.
The Scout vs Scourge micro, it's really fun and it looks super cool.
It looks super cool, but it's easy to do.
Yeah, you feel like a pro for that one exchange.
Oh yeah. You can just like juke like crazy, especially once you have the speed upgrade. Oh my gosh, it's lovely.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like you can't forget that this is a game, and you know most people should be playing to have fun, not be like #1 god tier player or whatever. So, Scouts, if you want to have fun, play with Scouts. They'll reward you and punish you in hilarious ways. And let's see if we can get into. Oh, I love this storm.
Oh my god, those storms, jeez, that was a lot of Hydra. A lot of Hydra. Zerg is now going to start setting up a base on the right side though, and this is the situation that Ruskig would probably prefer to avoid. A lot of times it's a winning situation if Zerg can get both bases. Holy fleet of Scourge Batman. Let's see the control. Control looks good so far. Naugrim surprisingly making a lot of Scourge. I would think Naugrim would know you can micro the Scouts so easily against the Scourge, and we can see the micro on point there for Ruskig.
I love the way that the little missiles, right? Because they're actually like they look really slow, so like they kind of like they shoot out way too fast, and they're like, oh man, I'm going the wrong way, and then they do chase.
Next fleet of Scourge, not paying so much attention here. He's going to pick off 2 of the Scouts with his Scourge. And Protoss still throwing down a bunch of storms at the bottom, which is working. It's keeping the Hydra count down. I still feel like he could just park some Hydra up near the back and make it really hard for the Scouts to do anything, but that is not what is going on right now. Scouts are doing a lot of work now. Here come the Hydra from Naugrim. They will force the Scouts back for a little bit, so we'll see what comes of that.
And it should be noted that Protoss is on only 1 mining base, whereas Zerg is now just about. I mean, he almost lost his 2nd, but he's getting his 3rd, so it's actually looking a little bit more sour for our Protoss. I'm not sure if these Scouts are paying off quite yet, or if they will. And he's making more, actually. He has 3 Stargate Scouts.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to stick with this for a while now.
I mean, you're committed now.
Protoss is down to his last mining base against a Zerg with 2 mining bases, although 1 is minimally mining, but he's about to have a 3rd. I feel like something...
Like how unsupported it is here. I don't know where Zerg's army is.
Yeah.
I guess it's in his natural, but it could be better served defending.
Protoss is going to have to get some damage done pretty quickly, though, or I think Zerg is going to take this with relative ease. And it looks like that's what he wants to do, is he's going to crawl some Reavers over the 3rd base. I guess to help deal with the invariable Hydra that are coming. Probably see a few more spores added into this base at this point as he gets annoyed by the Scouts. Yeah, 2 spores, a sunken.
Oh, almost gets that lurker. And Naugrim is still at 2-2 upgrades. I can't possibly understand.
That's a bit of a bummer, yeah. Probably just one of those things where you like think you've got it, but you just whoa! The Hydra actually pulls the Scarab into the lurker.
Nice.
Oh, gets a plague down, but doesn't get anything out of it. Lurker's trying to burrow to kill Reavers. That's generally not going to work that great. And it looks like he actually wants to micro. Oh no, he wanted to stamp the Defiler. Have his Scouts gotten plagued? His Scouts actually haven't gotten plagued yet, which is surprising.
Yeah. That would actually be a money shot right now, because each Scout is so goddamn expensive.
Oddly, despite the mining situation difference, Protoss is at a huge supply advantage. Now, Naugrim is trying to bust in here, but I don't think he knows that Protoss is mostly mined out. Like, I don't even know if it's really worth it for Naugrim at this point to try to bust Protoss.
Yeah, it should be a defensive play in my opinion.
Like, he just needs to hold his bases and know that Protoss is pretty much done with mining.
Protoss has... Actually, I guess he has about like 2,000 or 2,000 minerals left, so that's not a lot. That's really not.
No, not at all. And I mean, Zerg is right now holding... Oh, but he's getting drones wrecked at the 3 o'clock base, and now he's going to have to run away. I'm kind of surprised Nalgrim isn't just making Hydra lurk at this point. But this feels like it's a last gasp here for Ruskig. Like, he needs to deny a Zerg base here pretty soon, or he's not going to be able to win this game. And he might be able to deny this base, though, because, I mean, these scouts are working
really
away.
No anti-air here.
Where are the Hydras? One, oh, okay, now there's a large number of Hydras. Is it going to be enough? I don't think you can muscle down Hydras with scouts. Now, scouts and Templar, sure, but this base is holding.
But there's only one mining drone right now. He's been forced to use so many of them for defensive structures.
He still has 47, though. He still has 47. And yeah, people in chat mentioning the same thing. Oh, finally we hit a plague on the scouts, so that will soften them up tremendously. I was waiting for that.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, he just hit. Holy shit, look at the bottom left pathway between those two bases. That is like the Reaver train of...
I think we see where all the supply is for the Protoss.
I guess that is Protoss's army. He might even be trying to flank with the army from the top, which could work out. There is a decent chance. All right, I think Protoss actually has a chance to shut down this base. And with 6 Reavers, that is going to be a very defendable base if he can break up the hill. So here we go. This is just, I'm going for it. And there's only 2 lurkers up here. He doesn't have the 8, so I think Protoss has a very, very good chance to break through right here, especially as the Spores goes down. The Scouts are going to add muscle, and this might be one of the things Protoss needs to continue this game as he takes out this Zerg base effortlessly. Now, what will Nalgrim's response be? And with all these units, Protoss can just sit up here, I think, and mine this.
Yeah, this base is now unbustable for Zerg, the way it is right now. Scouts...
Oh, up there, yeah, there's no way.
Templars, 6 Reavers, there's absolutely no way.
The only way he could bust it is if he had the money to go, like, Devour or Muta or whatever, with a few Guardians or something. Yeah, he doesn't. He's got 1 base mining. You're not going to get out the Devour or Muta to deal with already 12 scouts that are out there. So suddenly the game went from looking a little bit dicey for Protoss to probably comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially given Protoss' supply. I mean, you know, he's maxed.
It's crazy how quickly a game turns around when there's only 1 mining base and both players are fighting for, or 1 or 2 mining bases in the center.
Yeah. Oh, there's still the center base that Zerg could take. I did forget about that.
Oh,
but
I forgot about
or
that.
Protoss could take, either one. Now, it's got to be frustrating for Nalgrim, because you know there's only, like, really 1 base that matters. Mm-hmm. But you know that Protoss is just, like, sitting up there, and it's going to be hard as hell to attack.
And you don't have anything that can beat it. You don't. You can't go Guardians because of scouts.
Yeah, and you don't have the money to go, you know, the Muta Devourer you'd need to fight the scouts off.
And it's actually, the last 484 minerals is just enough to save it up for a Nexus. And he was waiting for the creep to disappear, and he's going to be long distance mine now. He is sending out, oh, no, he's keeping his army there. Now Nalgrim, what is he going to decide to do? He's supply blocked because of the scouts. Oh wow, Protoss actually used the last of the minerals that he needed for the Nexus. So Protoss is going to be long distance mining for a little bit now.
Oh, he's actually taken his army and decided to leave this base with 6 Reavers to hang up the ramp.
I guess he knows that he's not scared of Mutalisks because of the...
Yeah, Zerg won't, but it would be funny if there were suddenly like a surprise 11 Mutalisks or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to go back and harass this base.
Yeah, scouts are just... Oh, another plague. Not really useful.
Yeah, does it matter at this point though? Because Plague doesn't hurt shields, and he's already 1 HP'd the scouts.
Oh wow, this could be really annoying though. Picking off tech structures and stuff with scouts, moving from base to base.
Yeah, waste a lot of APM and focus. We can see Nalgrim does have the Greater Spire. I don't know how long ago he got that, but probably at some point he's like, this would be kind of nice to deal with the scouts, but then just doesn't have the resources to actually do it. Picks off the spawning pool.
Doesn't get a single scout out of it. I love this observer placement. It sees like everything. It sees where the armies are positioned. Knows they can't engage here.
I hope he has the scouts, but honestly, that's one of the things that did surprise me. Even though Nalgrim's a good player, is he allowed Protoss to just have these obs visions basically the entire game.
Yeah.
And it's usually not that hard to bring an Overlord and just Hydra them or Scourge them away. But Nalgrim allowed Ruskig to constantly see what was going on.
And now Ruskig manages to gather up enough resources for a Nexus and builds 5 cannons.
Yeah, I don't understand this building order.
Still no Nexus. He could definitely just support that corner base with these Archons, Templar, obs and 4 go to the cannons.
Oh, these overlord losses hurt now because every 100 minerals is pretty important for Nalgrim.
Yeah.
And then when you're donating overlords because they're out of position, that's not what you want to.
Donating some lings.
Uh-oh.
I love
Overlords.
I love seeing the overlords pops the scouts.
Do you have his hotkeys? What is he grouping the scouts with?
I don't have it.
Oh, you don't? Dang it.
No.
Is there a way to change what replay slot you're in? Like I was wanting to look at efforts hotkeys and I had a replay, but like it, when you make a replay, it like defaults to putting you in the second position.
Really?
So I wasn't in the first slot and I was getting Terran's hotkeys, but you can't move your slot position, at least not on IC Cup. So I don't know if there's a way to like adjust what slot you're in without having like 8 players.
That did it. I'm not sure if you can do that with FCA. Also, I feel like it's not always you're in second. Like I feel like it's
No, it varies, but you're not always in the slot you want to be in.
Yeah, I guess you can rehost, like keep replaying the replay.
All right, so now Grim has decided that he absolutely has to take the center, which is exactly what he's trying to do right now. And our Darkstorm's up. Protoss should probably bring some Reavers over here, and then he'd be able to fight against these Darkstorms a lot more effectively. Needs some Storms though if he's going to fight, especially against Hydralisks under all these Storms. But it looks like he's broken through, and there's just not enough unit count. So this base is going to go down for Nalgrim, and I can't imagine Nalgrim is going to come back from this. I mean, Protoss is just wrecking that. Yeah, it's a little interesting that he has... Actually, did he block his Nexus with that one cannon? I'm pretty sure that cannon's blocked.
I mean, you could just put it 1 unit lower, yeah.
Also, the kill count on these scouts is pretty hilarious, and apparently there were some Guardians that the scouts sniped off. But one scout has 15 kills, and their scout has 18 kills. There's some 5-kill scout. I mean, some of that's going to be Lings and other things, but some of that's drone. Like, that's still a lot of kills. Yeah.
Scourge, Overlords, drones, pretty much valuable stuff.
I'm honestly shocked that Nalgrim went Guardians. Like, why would you go Guardians when there's a pack of 12 scouts on the map? More Overlords, more wasted money.
You know what would have been really interesting earlier is if, because, I mean, if he knew how broke Rustgig was, he could definitely waste all of these Scarabs by just sending like 1 Ling at a time, and all of the Scarabs would shoot at, I mean, all the Reavers would shoot. It was just like costing you effectively 100 minerals per shot from 6 Reavers.
Yeah, I don't think there's a such thing as hold Reavers either.
Yeah, you would have to be actively telling them move command instead of attack command.
Yeah.
Oh, is this lurker gonna get hunted? It's gonna get hunted. I don't think he actually is always grouping up somebody. Hunted down.
Alright, so now Grim has got 1 more army in him. Actually, he probably has like 1 more tiny army, but I don't know, he's got to take a base or do something.
He still has 236 minerals in his 3rd base, actually. This is the time when it could be actually a little bit useful.
Oh, I see what patch you're talking about. I thought you were talking about his like 3 o'clock base, and I was like, wait, you counted all the minerals?
But now Rustgig is...
Alright, so again, another attempt to take the natural, big lurker field, Observer going down early, and there is a pretty good flank here for Zerg, although Zerg is actually just trying to get his army into the middle. Bit surprised there, didn't expect that. He actually storms more of his own Archons than anything with that second storm. First storm was great, though. And he is going to press the issue. There are a lot of Archons, which does add some muscle, but it's not enough muscle that you can deal with getting flanked and caught out like this, and swarms going up.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of units getting wasted. More storms going down. Good storms, actually preventing the Hydra from continuing the chase, as he would have had to walk under the storm to continue that. And he's going to morph those into Archons, and still has a pretty beefy army. I wonder if he'll make a shuttle and bring those Reavers with him or not. Finally gets the Nexus down. The cannon was not... The cannon may have been... The cannon was blocking the Nexus. That is definitely an out-of-position Nexus.
Yeah, it's a long distance. Long distance to gas.
For gas, but not so bad for minerals. A little bit bad.
Look at this first probe that comes out of the gas. Oh, no. Look.
The cannon even slows it down. Oh, well, I think he's okay on gas.
And the scouts are doing a smart thing. They're splaying away from the main army, harassing these drones, preventing Zerg mining money.
Oh, we have a drop. Oh, no, we don't have a drop. We have scouts killing all the drones. He's killed off one of the spores, so the scouts are harassing the drones at that base, forcing him to run away. He's having to hide around the spore. Scouts could totally go snipe that spore, too.
I would love to see a Dark Swarm protecting drones that are mining from scouts.
Actually, that would be really easy. He could just put a few lings and just keep consuming. That would actually be a way better solution.
Yeah, and he's not even mining right now. He's just kind of... The drones are just idling there. And... now he's finally trying to hunt down some observers, but he's not getting it. He sees the scouts are coming into this base. He consumed an egg.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, you didn't? I just learned about the other. It was really nice. I used that to defend a base in a game I played like yesterday. Wow. I didn't have anything, so I was like, I better make eggs and consume them, and then I was able to get a swarm down because I just watched that.
No, because I guess I assumed because you can't consume larvae, which
you can't do eggs. Oh, good storm. Unfortunately, the lurkers are burrowed where they'll take double... Oh, that storm was a whiff.
Oh, the Reavers are here.
But that's super annoying because the lurkers aren't burrowed far enough down. He can storm at the corners. And yeah, now he's got the Reavers with the army. Gonna try to siege this base down. If the Reavers don't get too stupid, I don't think Nalgrim has enough to really have any good flanks or anything, so I just see Protoss slowly working his way through this here. Very patient by Protoss. I appreciate that. A lot of Protosses are like, oh god, Zerg's getting a base, I need to charge in there, but just took his time, crawled his Reavers over, harassed with the scouts while he was waiting for Reavers. And we can see Nalgrim is going to try a little bit of flank. He was able to get a few more Hydra than I expected. Also has a few more Hydra at the top base, so we'll see what comes of it. The scouts are actually just running in there right now. They're going to take down the Spore, which will allow them to harass the drones as the army just kind of hangs out right there below the base, continuing to inch the Reavers forward. I would like to see a few more storms, but I guess it is what it is. It's a lot of Archons, though. Oh, finally he makes his first mistake. Protoss does bring the Reavers up way too far forward and donates 2 of them, but gets off a decent storm on the Hydras. Ultras are charging in here. I think this is it. This is the last gas attack he's going for, but the Ultras are taking a ton of damage. He's going to have to back out. Protoss is charging in. There's an obs there. I think Protoss can now just muscle this down, especially with the scouts there. There's only 2 lurkers left. He's finishing off the Hydra. And it looks like he is going to go ahead and end this game. I guess he's going to just very patient. Doesn't want to risk it. Just taking it real casually. Not risking anything. Now he's eliminated the lurkers. The army's going to move forward. Here we go. The Archons working their way in. Storm goes down, forcing the Hydra back. Archons continuing to move forward. Just absolutely patient. Protoss is playing this like it's an OSL final. You know, at this point he definitely could A move, but he is not wasting his units. He is prepared if Zerg has like 30 Hydralisk in reserve.
Yeah, he doesn't know how much money the other player has, to be fair, so.
And Nalgrim is probably, if he hasn't seen this, he's probably pretty surprised. He's like, damn. Like, he's probably kind of thinking, what the fuck, I lost the scouts, but at the same time, he's probably thinking, like, Protoss played pretty legit doing this. Like, he probably doesn't feel like he got tooled, he probably just feels like he got outplayed.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a mad disrespectful move, but now it's really shaping up to be something.
Yeah, like
greater.
You know how sometimes you like lose to shit, like if you lose to some cheesy stuff, you know, it feels like you just like got tooled or whatever, and it was like stupid. Yeah. But this feels like probably like you just got beaten. But Ruskig saying Nalgrim kills me 10-1, which is probably true as he is an A- player. But sometimes you have a good game and it all comes together for you.
Just making some Scourge, get sniped. Wow, everything gets sniped.
This is a nice game. This was a nice game too. It had several different turning points. Oh, Ruskig says he let me live in the beginning. Where could he have killed him? I honestly don't remember feeling that watching the rep.
Maybe that pressure on the third, the Hydras at one point, or maybe it was the drop too. The drop didn't go like if he had coordinated a little bit better, that would have been so much more devastating.
He says if it was real, I'd probably die. Oh, maybe he just means he played a passive game. But,
He also never got 3-3. He actually got 3 range upgrade, but no Carapace or Scouts are real. Scouts 2016.
He's like, they're legit.
Squia. I wonder what that means. It probably means like shit or something like
I don't even want to try to pronounce it because I'll just butcher it. And there it is, the GG.
Wow, that was a fantastic game.
That was really nicely played by Ruskig though. He played it conservatively. He's like, I can't let this opportunity to get a win go to waste, and he did a great job with it.
That
1K minerals. 1K resources, not minerals. Almost 1K minerals, though. Well, gentlemen, it was fun. And I appreciate all of you watching. Again, I will say it again. If you have not signed up or whatever, go look at the CPL thread and go sign up for Coach People League. It is worth it. If you are C-, D+, D-, computer rank, never played Brood War, sign up as a player. If you're C or higher, sign up as an assistant coach or coach. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yep, thanks for having me.
And of course, thanks to our players for submitting replays. I think we had replays from BaBo, from Turtle, Ruskig with a great rep to end it out on. That was nice. I really enjoyed that game. That was very nice showcase of scouts. So I'm really glad you sent that game.
Definitely. Thank you.
And BaBo, it was fun casting with you. I will look forward to doing this more in the future. Perhaps for my next invitational, you can join me as a co-caster as well.
I'll be very interested in doing that. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care.
And thanks to everybody for